Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to another episode of Hello Tanzania. I am your host, Lucy Tomeka, and I am joined by my co-host today,
Joanne Wita.
Today, we also have a very interesting panel because we are going to be talking what it's like to find your footing back in Tanzania and reintegrating yourself back into Tanzanian community. So before we continue, I want to ask my guests to introduce themselves. I'm going to start to my right. You are?
My name is Eva Nune, Abel Jerusalem Grini. I go by Eva or Donna. I am Mkinga, so don't be questioning my heritage.
Lucy.
I am Mkinga from Makete and Jombe. I am a filmmaker, brand manager, and other things. And for today, I'm just here as a guest.
I think you're also a sound engineer.
I'm actually a sound designer, but that's literally like by profession.
That's
It's a whole conversation.
Sound designer, you guys. Not engineer, designer.
All right. And right in front of me is...
I'm Sifa Hera.
Correction, doctor.
Yeah.
Correction, doctor.
I'm yet to earn it, but in Tanzania, yes, I've been called that many times. So, Sifa Hera. I'm a clinical psychologist by profession. One of the many things I do, that's professionally, I'm a clinical psychologist. I'm also a mom. My second job, the biggest one, I say.
It should
That
be your
is,
first. Should be your
that should be my first, yeah. Correction. So, Sifa Hera, mom, clinical psychologist.
Mom extraordinaire. Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
But they're working though.
Yes. So, yeah, excited to be here today.
We're so happy to have you.
So happy to have
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Okay, so as I said earlier, today we are going to be talking about one of the trickiest parts of going back home, which is reintegration and setting social boundaries and everything in between. And guys, spoiler alert, last time we talked about somebody who was very passionate about relationships, and I think she's sitting on like my right hand side.
Not pointing fingers.
We're not pointing fingers.
Or elbows,
Or elbows.
no body parts.
All right, so I'm gonna go around and I wanna ask, what's a social rule that really surprised you when you came back to Tanzania? Let's start with Dr. Sifa. Dr. Sifa.
So the very first thing for me was outfits, especially at government facilities. That was the first shock I got. Went to pick up my passport and I was told I couldn't get in. I couldn't get in to get my passport. I had to go and buy a dera. Then I was told this is not my mother's kitchen. So I left. I abandoned that mission and I had somebody else do it for me instead. That was the first shocker for me. Then later on, with time, after being in Dar for a while, it was outfits when going to hospitals. It was outfits when going to other government hospitals to pay my taxes, for instance, etc., etc. But yeah, we have adapted. We have adapted.
We have or we are adapting?
We're still adapting, yeah, we're still adapting because most of my outfits may, I think, not be appropriate for most of the government facilities. But I've had to buy a few extra ones for when I actually know I have to go to a government facility. Then I would try and find a loose dress with arms. No, I'm lying. At least, yeah, high. Not all the way. Though sometimes I do try long sleeves, but it's hot.
It's hot, yeah.
It's hot.
Yeah. How about you, Eva?
I'm trying to narrow it down because damn,
It's a lot.
it's a lot. Like pre and post COVID-19, so much. A cultural thing that I've learned that I have to now try and unlearn because it's in
Stuck
your
in your
face all the time.
memory.
Yeah. The fact that a lot of women in Tanzania are so focused on weddings than marriage, and there's so many seminars for women on like how to be a good wife, but there ain't nothing about how to be a good husband.
Period.
Let's talk about that for a second. Ooh, child.
Let me see my glass of wine right now, cause
Relax, we'll get to that.
Like it's a whole thing because like
yeah, where are the classes for the men?
really like there's so many seminars, not to name people, but like Magasege will have a seminar for women. You know, you have a seminar about raising children and stuff, and it's like
How to be a good wife.
when are we keeping the men accountable? Like when are we doing that?
Classification parties are designed for women.
Girl, and you have every invite.
And they go as far as to teach you like sexual positions and everything. And
How to
That's a whole that's a whole other conversation.
baby.
That's a whole other conversation.
That is a
That
whole
one needs
other
a lot more
conversation.
wine.
Yeah. Or something stronger at this point.
Plenty.
Yeah.
And another thing that has been drilled, it's like if you're not a congregation member, especially for funerals, they're not gonna bury you. Like they're not gonna bring your body into the church.
Oh,
So even if your parents are like your whole family,
I still have a lot to learn. I'm glad.
we buried my cousin in August 2020, and she wasn't a congregation member of any Lutheran church, so they had to have the service at their house.
Oh.
And then one thing one of my sisters had once said was like, look, when you're not a member of church, or even if you don't baptize your children and something happens, the church is not going to recognize them.
Is it?
Yeah. So I remember I had asked my dad one time, I was like, yo, Dad, so if Christ came back right now, like what church would he go to? I'm just saying. Because it used to be the way, but now it's like we got Catholic, we got, Lutheran, Anglicans,
So many.
all that. So I'm like, when Christ comes back, where is he going to go to? I'm just saying.
That's crazy.
Good question for y'all.
That I also learned. I also learned that the hard way though. Yeah, we had like a family friend rather who passed away in Namibia, and I think they were transported back.
Okay.
And I remember the hustle of trying to find a church that will conduct the ceremony. And somebody said that, which Jumuiya do you go to?
Yes.
Oh.
They'll
And it
ask
starts
you
there.
all the questions. Who knows you? Who recognizes you?
So
who can vouch for you?
I'm curious. So in the end, did you guys get a priest there?
Yeah, so they
Getting a
would
priest
rather
is
come
not a
do the
problem,
service
okay?
at the house.
But the body will never, ever see the
Into
the
church.
walls
So
of
am I
church.
damned? Because I don't
By the
have-
church, yes.
God.
By God, no, but by the church, yes.
You're damn.
Alright, so what was like the social rule that shocked you the most when you came back?
And you got back recently, hey?
You should just go back there.
Like you are a newbie, fresh off the
I
boat.
don't know. Okay. For me personally, I had this mindset when I was coming back to Tanzania because I knew how Tanzania operated, and I've been here because I used to have a lot of anxiety, like when I was younger, because I did kind of grow up here, so I used to have a lot of anxiety, like for example with the dalas and everything, and operating public transport. Like you said, I think one of the social rules that really shocked me, which I don't care about nowadays, by the way,
Period.
Somebody's had enough.
it's my it's not even about that. It's my dress code. Like
Yeah.
I used to have so much anxiety because me personally, I'm young. I got my abs. I'm looking sexy all day, every day. So like my dress code is so limited now that I'm back here because if I walk out in my shorts or whatever, people are obviously
Booty rocking everywhere. Sorry, that just I couldn't help it. I apologize. You were saying,
Don't
ma'am.
apologize.
Oh God, this is gonna be on national television.
But like for me personally, it was actually the dress code because as you can see, I like dressing in my minis, in my crops and everything. So like coming back, it was kind of weird because I'm a marathon runner.
The legs gonna show.
Very fit, yeah?
The legs gonna show. The abs gonna show.
So I'm a marathon runner. So like it's kind of weird for me to come back and wear the clothes that I wear when I go running or whatever. So it's like having to kind of
Change.
jump out. Yeah, change. And like jump out. Nowadays, I've really crossed that barrier because men be having the audacity in Tanzania to yap. okay, they have the audacity. But now I've decided that I'm also going to have the audacity.
To yak back.
To get back.
Yeah,
Okay, so I think for me,
yeah.
well, clothing was definitely a big factor, and I think that's one thing that really stressed my parents out. My mom would be like,
My mom
Oh,
too.
una vacho. Oh,
Sorry, sorry to interrupt, babe, but I remember my mom would be on some, Sifa, you know you're going to Tanzania, right?
exactly.
Make sure you pack appropriate clothing.
Even for
I'm like,
the
Ma,
beach.
I'm like, Ma, it's
Like-
decent. It's
And I
by
think
the
because
knee.
They come from that era where they would hear of women
Yeah.
having their clothes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that really
I
would
was
stress
told
my
about
mom
that.
out.
Yeah.
Every time we are packing to come to Tanzania, and she'd be like,
You can't take that.
remember you're going to stay at so place. How do you expect to live now? So dress code was definitely
And
a big thing. But when because I was always shielded by the parents.
The
and
parents,
everything, and
yeah. Whenever you come down,
environment.
you're
But
just
then
at
when I
home
came
mostly.
back
Yeah.
By
on my
yourself.
own, and I'm going to church, and I'm like, I would wear this to church when I grew up.
Yeah.
And then you
Not
get to
here.
church
The
and they're
culture
like,
shock.
Vikitenge, dada.
Yeah, that's so weird to me. Like, why are you giving me a kitenge? Like,
And
it's
I'm like,
so weird.
What is wrong with this?
It's too short.
I'm not
Not
showing
short,
you
inamesha
anything.
sana.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Utacheka wanaume za watu.
Yes.
Are we not
Oh.
Again.
Hello,
For the
Tory,
pleasure
where
of
do you
men.
expect them Tory to go to?
And I remember at one point, I actually answered somebody and said, are these men here to look for women or to
worship?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
If they're here to worship, why are they so focused on what I'm wearing?
What I'm wearing.
Naive little.
No. You're not wrong because I had once quoted to a church member. Christ did say, "Let he who has last gouge their eyes out."
Gouge the
I was like, I will help you take a spoon. I will bring you the fork and knife.
And gouge them all out.
Hakia Mungu, I told the person that. I was like, Christ told you, gouge.
If you're
Gouge them
lusting
out.
after me, gouge your eyes
Yeah.
out.
Literally.
He did say you better lose an arm if that's going to cause you to sin, yeah?
Because Jesus didn't judge
Girl,
my outfit.
we are so
But no, I
good
think
like
the thing that
nitpicking the
really
Bible, but I'm like,
shocked me, though,
Yeah.
The thing that really shocked me, besides the dress code and the touchy of everything,
Oh, yeah.
was like on the family side.
I like how we all shut it at that. It's like,
Because why are you
Woo!
touching me?
You know, I've
I just go
remembered.
through trauma again.
I just remembered my first experience in a dala. Oh my
trauma.
God.
The way
I don't like how we all shivered about that, guys. That's not okay.
Because let me tell you, Marburg outbreak virus or whatever is out here.
Oh
now.
my God.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Don't be touching me. Don't touch me. Ebola is real.
Yeah.
Coronavirus
So,
is still out
clearly, you guys have a lot more. Like, I'm passionate about that, but y'all saw this reaction.
So
That
bad.
should tell you a lot.
No, like it's just,
But
it's
it's
I think, like, on the
horrible.
skin
family-
crawling.
I know.
Yeah,
I
on the
know.
family side, the thing that really shocked me the most is the having to contribute for
Everything.
and every small thing.
But guys, can I?
Mind you,
Yeah.
I just got back. I like you. I just
You have
finished
no
college.
idea.
Yeah.
I don't have a job. I don't have a steady income. And I'm a firstborn. I'm not the kind of person to go to my dad and be like, I need you to send me money. Like, if I ask my dad for money,
He knows you're
I'm
really,
really
struggling.
struggling.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
You
my
know,
dad.
there's
too,
a
yeah.
problem
I
here.
feel like if he gives me a funny answer and I'm like, I'm not gonna get money from this man, I'm like, it's fine, never mind, I'll figure it out. So to expect at an early 20s somebody who just finished college is still waiting, and you've been making promises. Send me your CV, I'm gonna.
Ooh.
Do they ever come through, by the way?
Yes.
Do they ever come
When
through?
anything comes up, Tom Chango. Okay, how much is the contribution?
Minimum.
At most I can do 5,000, maybe 10,000.
Utampe if I'm
No,
sini.
it's 50,000.
And that's what I'm getting
Minimum.
paid right now, you
50,000.
know? And you forgot the M-Pesa transaction fees.
Where am I supposed to get? And it's kind of like a rule because you're this child who grew up outside Tanzania.
You're expected to
You're
have
expected
money.
to have more money as
Than the
compared
rest
to your
of us,
cousins
yeah.
who would, for some reason, are actually working. Okay, I shouldn't say for some reason. They probably
I understand
earned
you.
those jobs.
I understand where you're coming from.
They probably earned those jobs. But
We get
A
it.
question, actually, guys.
We get it.
On that note of
Yeah.
families, like, do you guys struggle, for example, if you've grown out outside Tanzania? We're all Tanzanian, by the way.
Yes, we
But
are.
you've grown out of Tanzania, like some of your family members might feel like you're not as close to them or whatever. Because we're not close. We didn't grow
Well,
up in the
actually,
same.
that was where I was headed. You
then-
preempted me.
Ooh, I read your mind.
Because I'm like, okay, so now that we've gotten like the social rules out of the way, family is obviously
Because
the
you've grown
biggest factor.
apart from
Triggers.
So, like,
And-
is
and-
it tough? Because me personally, yesterday I was talking to my uncle who's 2 years younger than me. African families, you know.
Yeah.
But he's 2 years younger than me, and people might suggest that I'm a snob, and I'm not a snob. I just haven't grown up with you. I don't know you. Like I can't just come one day and be like, oh my god, we're
Yeah.
best friends. So like, have you guys had that struggle? Like,
It
because you
is,
grew up.
it is a challenge because how you reintegrate with your extended family,
Exactly,
it plays
yeah.
a very big role
Reintegrating.
in how
In
you
how you
manage,
manage,
like
yeah.
to navigate socially.
Boundaries.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like that was going to be like my next point because you get family that is entitled.
Ooh.
I don't know you.
All right, you are going to start with
Are you? Like I don't know.
We need to have something stronger than this for that conversation.
All right, if I'm gonna start with you, like, what was your experience like?
guys.
Good luck.
I'm gonna do this sober.
What was your experience like in
Would you
terms
like some
of
water?
integrating with family, in terms of how you relate to them when you came back, and like to what role and to what extent did that play into how you even figure your footing outside?
Because it's really
the
tough
family?
when people think you're a hater. I'm not a hater. I don't know you.
Like, what were the challenges
Like, people
first?
think you're a
There's a whole list. Let's see. Grocery
All right,
list. Item
we
number
have
one.
time.
A, B, C, and D.
You need another box.
I know we
We
do.
need another
we
episode,
do.
Julie.
I'll put it this way, right? A person like me, growing up as a third culture kid. So basically, third culture kid means that you were raised in a different environment from where your parents were from.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's a city or a country, and with me, it's all the above, right? Now, being raised, for instance, like growing up in the Southern African department of life, where no, it's a whole department, honey. It's a whole department because you have to learn about the value of money, grocery shopping, all that stuff, like
Savings, blah, blah, blah.
you learn the art of frugality. You learn about buying things in bulk. Like that's the lifestyle that you have because your parents like, listen, like we're living in a different place. Like this is not fresh from the farm food of like Tanzania. You know what I mean? Like if you have a
It's okay. Continue. Sorry.
ooh, I was in the zone and trying to
Processing.
no, like when you have been raised to have boundaries with friends, to have boundaries with family friends as well.
With family too, yeah.
Exactly. Like having to say no to people who are like, but you have money. Why don't you? And I'm like,
Why though?
not even that. You might have it, but it's not for them.
Period.
But then the entitlement, it's like, Ilana pesa. And I'm like, but it's not for you. I have things to do with that money.
It's
I have
budgeted.
investments. I have all that,
Yeah.
So then, and this happened like way past moving back. Because it's like, you move back and then boom, you have to bury your father. And it's like, okay, now you're semi on your own, And it's like having to navigate with his family and then with my family and then with friends as well as social life. Things change. Things change after you bury a parent. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
And it's like,
Are you speaking from experience?
oh, honey,
Yeah,
I've
she
buried both
is.
my parents.
She is. Yeah.
No, don't worry. That's a whole other conversation. We're moving forward. No, but
Okay, just
like,
casually.
like having to say no to.
As a
Please
therapist,
don't.
I made a note of that.
She needs an appointment.
Honey, honey.
We've been.
My Bible is open to you.
Always.
For free?
For her, yeah. Yeah, she gets sister
I will
privileges.
come disguised for a free appointment.
Right.
Like having to tell people no, having to tell people I cannot, having to set the boundaries of like, listen, I have my own priorities, And then also when folks don't understand, like we work in an industry where you're always traveling, where you always have to make deals, where you always have to, network
Be with people
out there so hard, So when someone says, hey, come through to a different region, hey, come to a different country, you go. You don't say no. You're like, oh, you're cool.
Yeah,
I'm not
I need that money,
Exactly,
honey.
I do, right? And the thing is, when folks don't understand the crux of your work and they start judging you and they're like, anakula bata kila saa. And I'm like,
always traveling.
always traveling. And I'm
It's like
like
working from home in
don't
an African household. It's like, I'm working.
like your laptop is there and then your hotspotting yourself because there's no Wi-Fi. And now you have to like, okay, I have to go somewhere with there's Wi-Fi. Bruh, like all those things are happening, right?
Yeah.
And so having those boundaries of like, no, guys, I have to go. When you're a black woman coming back to Tanzania and you're living in a household where you're used to freedom and they're used to constraints, it's a problem. Where you're telling them, no, naenda kwenye kikao, like, I have a networking issue kuanzia saa 4 usiku mpaka saa 8 asubuhi. You know, like it's like
They don't get it.
Exactly,
Yeah.
you know? And
Not
it's
just
like,
clubbing, like you're meeting up with some man somewhere.
fam.
She a hoe.
Yeah.
We're gonna bleep that.
We are.
She a bleep.
No, but like the boundary of like, don't tell me what time to come back. Don't
I'm a
tell me.
grown woman.
Aside from that, it's like I'm working. If I was to be working 24/7 at the Citizen newspaper, and I know that I have to go chase a story, or even working for BBC Swahili, like you have to go chase a story. They're like, wanafanya kazi sana. I'm like, I'm behind the scenes. I'm doing the podcast. I'm doing the writing, for films, for television. I am screening people's work, Even when a family friend of ours, Gloria Bogoma, like she has a whole proofreading service, a whole thing, right? Like having to go there physically, be with her, and like seeing what she's doing, having to look at every website, having to look at who to talk to. That's a whole lot. You can't do that from home. Sometimes
No,
you're gonna
you
have to have the
cannot.
meetings,
Yeah.
And they're like, oh no, look how sick. And I'm like, so you're okay with me going to a wedding? Because I'm gonna come back with you, but you can't be
A
okay with
wedding
me.
until 5 o'clock in the morning,
Fam.
but you can't allow
Fam.
me to go chase that money.
And it's like, I am working. You might not see that. Like, there's a time that my laptop and my phone got stolen, and
Double
Pole.
homicide.
fam, it was bad.
Pole.
And in the week that I was looking for, because it was everything, passport, laptop, everything was stolen. In that week, I lost not less than $500 of work.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no offense to the hard-working class people over here, but some of us, for 1 hour, I'm making 3 people's salaries. For 1 hour.
That's true.
And I'm like, I'm not putting y'all down. It's just that I know that if I'm gonna write a story for children, or write, a short story for like a horror film, whatever it is, I'm making money. The money you're chasing for the entire month, I'm making that money in 2 hours.
3 hours. 2 hours.
So why are you on my case?
But you cannot put that out there because then it looks like you're loaded.
That's
Exactly.
why I'm like
I'm
boundaries,
gonna rob
right?
you.
Apart from looking like you're loaded, you look like you're showing off.
And that's the thing. That's why I'm like, I'm sorry, we're not the same. I'm not saying,
We're
Wanda,
not the
your job is less. Like, I respect what you're doing.
No, I hear
But you
you.
cannot compare yourself to what I'm doing. Our education levels are different. Like, I can be in boardrooms with people that work for, like, government officials or whatever. I can do that. I can navigate it. So can you. You've been doing it. It's part of the industry. But then, if I have to have small talk with somebody who has not ever been in my sphere, that's a strained conversation. And they're like, anajisikia sana. I'm like, guy, I am the most humble, like, I am humble.
And I really hate
South
that.
Africa will humble you.
I really hate that when
That's
you
true.
are a
That is
woman
so
who's
true.
well educated and you are talking about this, doctor. You
Yeah.
are talking about
Like-
this. Like when you're a woman
And the
who's
boundaries
well
come into there as well.
Like people feel so threatened and I
Girl.
don't understand that.
I'm like, I'm not intimidated by what I do. That's a big difference. Like, I don't intimidate. Like, if you feel threatened by me, ask yourself what is lacking in you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
What are you lacking?
I'm not. I am the most simplistic person ever.
Really
So
chill.
before I
So-
throw it to Dr. Sifa, because
Yeah.
I wanna throw it to her.
Yeah.
I do want to add one thing. There is this is now maybe my perspective or my experience rather. I don't have the energy to talk and explain myself.
Oh, preach.
And coming back to Tanzania, with a lot of my extended family, it felt like because I'm not engaging with you in a volatile manner, I'm not justifying my actions. I'm just going to remove myself from the situation.
I don't really need to be here.
It became a thing of huyu binti anajishaua, you know, she excludes, hivi kujitenga, it's kujitenga. Yeah. So she excludes herself from family and all of that. And it was very unfortunate because a lot of those complaints would end up to my family, my parents. And yeah, I think my dad, it really touches him because he's the kind of guy who wants to like push you guys are family, you know, you need to get together and all of that. But like, there are times I want to tell him, I'm like, Dad, I am literally your replica. Like my dad, my dad will be in the house and say 10 words to you the entire day.
Yeah, the entire day.
He's there. Too. He's happy with knowing that you're home. No.
He has a full head of hair.
Full head of hair.
My dad's bald.
Yeah. So like he's the kind of, as long as he knows you're okay, you're in the house, you're safe, he's happy. Yeah. But he's not a talker. He's a talker when he knows you. But he's not somebody who'll talk a lot. So when he comes at me and in my head I'm just like, but like I'm you. Like we would be in the same house and not talk like. Forget the in the morning or in the evening when he comes from work and you're like, shh, come on. That's it. I'm going to go to my room and mind my business.
Do your thing, I do
so,
that's it.
Yeah, so I come back here. Unlike my siblings are social butterflies. They will go and... Actually, one of them is.
I know, I have two
Libra and Aries. So is it Taurus? Taurus. So they're very social beings, right? And... my own siblings drain my energy. I'm like, I don't have a choice because they are my siblings. But like with extended family,
you do have a choice.
I do have a choice. No, I am in a position where I don't mind starting. Like I was like, I didn't mind starting life sleeping on the floor with a mattress and like in a one little room. I was very okay doing that. So I don't want anybody in my space. But now it becomes she's isolating herself from the family.
She's reclusive.
Messages keep coming. I'm like, guys, I don't even have a job. Today it's mchango for this. Tomorrow it's mchango for that. I don't even have health insurance. So I can't get sick because like I need to have savings in case. No. When I was starting off, like now I have health insurance.
Not the concern in your voice.
I know, right? Yeah. So like at the time I was still starting off. So I got to a point where I made peace with that. I need to isolate. I need to figure this on my own because my dad is going to hear complaints, whether I like it or not. My mom's going to hear complaints. There's nothing I can do about it. But I didn't have anyone to like, like I didn't have anyone to guide me and tell me that here you should do this, like from experience. My older cousin brother who I came and stayed with, they were guiding, but like they live here, they grew up here, and it's a different situation. Yes, they have their best interest at heart for me, but it's difficult to go and explain 1, 2, 3 because I'm like, he might take it like the rest of the extended family. No, he wouldn't kick me out, but like I didn't want to like I felt like I was overstepping if I start like saying, because then. Am I being just like my concerns and my challenges, like are they valid? Or is it that I'm just struggling to adapt? So I had to make that peace and say, I'm going to isolate regardless of what everybody thinks. And if my dad comes and he yaps at me about it, if my mom comes and complains and I'm like, no. Basically sound effects as they're complaining. I just do sound effects. I'm like, yo. You know?
I understand.
So now this is where I want you to come in. Like the psychological impact of reintegrating is not something that we get an opportunity to sit around and talk about as diaspora babies. And I think it also extends even to like our parents who have lived outside for so long, they're retiring back home. The Tanzania they left is not the Tanzania they'll find. And it's not easy to tell like my dad now or my mom that Tanzania is like this, like that. My dad still comes to Tanzania.
But
Lord, I hope he does not listen to this podcast.
He will. I hope he listens.
But my dad will come to Tanzania and he still insists on using dollar. It's okay. It's an experience, right? It's an experience. I don't hold it against him. And he's like, you know, I'm saving money. I'm doing this. I'm like, Dad, if I have to count the amount of hours you're going to spend in traffic, if I have to count the discomfort, if I have to monetize all of that, you are spending way so much more money than if you just
Not money,
go to an Uber.
Effort. Spending
And
more
I had to
effort.
get to a point where I would tell him that my company pays for Uber rides.
Yes.
Yeah, so like when I order him an Uber, I will literally tell the driver, don't tell this man how much this costs. Just get him to where he's getting, and then
send
me
you
na
a
wewe
bill.
tutamalizana. Because my dad will be like, how much is it? I'm like, it's okay, sorry, the company is paying for this. Like, we have a very understanding. I had to do that.
It's the only
Yeah,
way.
so like these
Well, then
people.
I hope your dad's not listening.
I hope so. Hey, yay.
I don't think my dad has ever been on a dala. I think if I was to throw him in like Kariakoo today, that man would
My dad goes to Kariakoo
In a dala.
in a dala.
My mom insists on using a dala. I had to ban her
save
from
money,
using
you
boda bodas.
guys.
My dad
It's not
goes to
even a
Kariakoo.
saving money
It's
issue.
not a saving.
You would give my mom money and be like, Ma, unless I call a Bajaj and I make sure she's in the Bajaj, my mom's catching a dala.
Yeah.
She just wants the experience. She likes it.
So my mom, thankfully,
She likes it.
thankfully,
She likes
it's an experience.
So
like when you
with,
come
with
back.
my mom, it's either you
COVID-19
drop her
and
there
Yeah.
or I get Ali. We have a Bajaj guy.
Okay, like this, mommy is gonna take a dala.
Mommy's gonna catch a dala. And it's not even that she's broke, no.
Yeah.
She's just gonna catch a dala.
So with my mom, thankfully,
My
that
dad-
one gets the stress off me. My mom is a proper spoiled princess.
Yeah.
She's like,
Yes, she is.
yeah. The last time she was here, she gets on a dala from my house to Mwenge. And this auntie tells me, mind you, it's just 500 shillings.
Yeah.
She paid 2,000.
And they didn't give her a change back. And she couldn't even ask for it back. That was my experience in dala-dalas.
I'm like, Mom.
Please give me back.
So she calls
I
me
am traumatized
and she's like,
for you.
how much is dala? I'm like, 500. You know, I forgot I said B1. So B1, you know, the bus, the stop going to our house in Vindok. Yeah. So she's like, I forgot. I kept saying B1. I'm like, oh, Jesus.
No, like it's not bad.
What did you do?
So even like our parents, as they're coming back, they definitely need a blueprint. My dad is so fixated on having a farm. It's okay. He's gonna come. I want him to retire to a place that is not as chaotic as Dar es Salaam.
Yeah.
I don't see my parents coming back and living in Dar.
They can't.
They cannot. So I'm like, you guys finish your house in Morogoro, retire in Morogoro. Hell, if you can stay there where you are
That's
now,
even
I'm
better.
good with that.
That's the
really
only
good
base. Like,
point.
because that's
Yeah.
the only bit, at least, like even the weather there
Yeah.
is
Because
better.
I don't see my parents retiring where we live at right now.
Yeah.
In Bweni. I don't see them living in the house when they're old.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of impractical.
It really is. So like understanding like the impact of like the psychology of just moving back, the social fabric that is Tanzania, but not from the
The
perspective,
anxiety.
not from the perspective of a Tanzanian who's been here for years, from the perspective of somebody coming back, somebody who didn't grow up here, somebody who left and kind of studied outside, came back 5 years later. Because the thing with Tanzania, the thing with Dar es Salaam, it is constantly changing.
It's a rat race.
It is constantly changing. I traveled
wake
for
up
2
every
weeks
morning and it's
on my
different.
birthday, and I came back and my neighborhood has changed. I'm seeing a liquor store right in front of my house. I'm seeing an eye, there's an eye doctor in front of my house. I'm like, 2 weeks.
Optician.
It took 2 weeks of a birthday trip. And I come back and the neighborhood has
Everything
changed.
is different.
So imagine what a person who's been out for 5 years comes to find. A
your
person who's
whole
been
life.
out for all their lives. My dad has lived the better part of his adult life outside Tanzania.
Yes.
From the time he went to go do his master's, I think, and he came, married, stayed for a bit.
And it's
Yes.
so
You know,
scary,
and then he
to
was
be
just
honest.
coming and, you know, babies. And then he was like, you know what? I want my entire family with me. And we were still so young. I was 9. Our last born was 7 months old
When you guys
when
left.
we left. And then she came to Tanzania like, I can speak Kiswahili.
Yeah,
I
you
don't know
were
how she's
9.
coping. I think she's adapting really well, but I do worry about her. She's as tiny as her.
Yeah.
Scary.
No, like it's
She's exactly like you, like she's really tiny.
No, but I think that with Hope, her her level of adaptation is just, it's almost contagious, because like she's like a chameleon, like wherever she goes.
That's me. That's exactly how I was.
Because like she just adapts. Like,
Yeah.
And the thing is, if something is not working for her, she walks away real fast.
Yes.
That girl will walk away faster than the person trying to quit smoking.
Yeah, so my sister is a lot like me. But still, I'm very sure that she's had challenges of her
Yeah,
own.
definitely.
Of course.
And none of us had any kind of blueprint. You're told when you go home, life is cheaper.
Life is
Oh,
easier.
That's where they get you. Oh, it's cheaper,
You know?
The beach.
Guys, the campaign.
It was Magufuli's time, yeah? That was the campaign in Magufuli's
Kumenoga.
time, yeah? Rudy Nyumbani Kumenoga. That's what brought me back home.
You know?
Oh,
It's a trap.
that's what brought me back home.
Because as soon as you realize how much money you're actually spending, because things are cheap.
Yeah,
you just
so-
like
No,
back.
significantly.
So now back to
Tanzania.
Dr. Sifa, my question to her, like explain to us like the psychological impact of adjusting to the social dynamics in Tanzania and Spain, I think.
Yeah, to be honest, we're ready.
This is a free therapy session, guys. This is a free therapy session.
Nah, you have to come pay for therapy. What is this? Yeah, so anyways, she spoke about being a chameleon. So adaptability is something that everybody needs to have as an individual. I mean, think of when you moved from Tanzania and went to another country. You had to start adjusting, yeah? What did you do first?
I learned the language.
You learned the language.
Yeah.
And it was easy to pick up the language
It was
because
very
you were
easy
9.
to pick up the language. Also, I had very bad influences. They taught me all the swear words first.
That's the only
And I
way
was
to
like,
learn a
oh, yeah.
language.
No, they taught me all the swear words, and then like I remember this one time in class. So this was not Botswana. This was Zimbabwe. I was in boarding school in Zim, and they
Oh,
taught.
where in Zim?
So first we started off in Bulawayo, Plumtree.
Oh, I was
and then
where in Plumtree? I
Asha
was in
Primary
Plumtree.
School.
Oh, I was at Impandeni.
Yes, I
in
remember
Plumtree,
that. Yeah. And then from there we moved to the Shona Lands. The school was called Mnene Primary School.
I started at Mnene Primary.
No way.
I promise you, grade 3 through 7.
Alumni. Yay.
3 through 7 with Mr. Muri and then
Yes.
3 through that guy had
So I joined
stories.
6 to 7.
What year was this?
Oh my god, I
Let's
can't
not
remember.
expose that.
Okay.
I also can't remember.
yeah.
Like I need
Oh,
to
yeah.
count back.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
been so long.
It's been that
Yeah,
long.
but yeah. So Shona was easy because Shona sounds a lot like
Like
broken
Swahili,
Swahili.
yeah.
It does,
Yeah.
it does.
Ndebele was the challenge.
Yes, with the
But
clicks.
yes,
Yeah.
I also learned it in like 3 months. But now the thing is, as I say, they taught me all the swear words. And I went to class once. I was so confident with the little Ndebele that I had learned in the hostel. And our Ndebele teacher, I don't even remember his name, but I'm sorry, I know it's a very strong word, but I hated this man with a passion.
Hashtag hated.
With a passion.
With a passion.
With a passion. He had
Passionately.
this, you know, the reputation for the long nail on the man.
the
Yeah,
pinky.
yeah. So he would pinch us like this, and he would pinch us like on the side. So he pinched
When you
me
got to
once.
Nene, did you meet the chubby BM, the one who had like a mattress for
Yes,
booty?
yes.
Oh, my god.
Mattress.
Literally, her booty was the size of a mattress.
She got on my mom's bad side.
She used to
got on
pinch
my-
the flesh off
She
me.
got
Oh
on my
my
mom's
God.
bad
Woo.
side, and my mom is the nicest person.
Of these people.
My mom is oh yeah, we used to do,
used
Happy and
to-
David were really tiny because we were at that school at the same time. They were in grade 1. We used to say like you can pick Happy up and put her on her back and she wouldn't fall off.
She literally used to put a grandkid on her back
Yeah.
and walk around, and this
Like,
kid is
that
just
is
like
not even an
this.
exaggeration.
Literally,
I kid you not.
Literally, that's how big a booty
Do you
was.
have the visual in mind?
I'm trying
Try
to
and have it. Think Big Mama with extra cushion.
Oh my goodness.
Like, cause
You know, like when she walks back, yeah,
But
when she
think
walks,
Big Mama with extra cushion.
when she walks, she's
Literally extra
upright,
cushion.
but like it looks like she's bent.
Oh,
Exactly.
When you have like the
Yes,
Yeah.
so like on the arch
Yeah.
there, so like you can
Yeah.
put hope or happy
On
there.
the and the kid was just literally her grandkid used to do that.
That's
just
not a
sit
lie.
on the back.
That's not a lie.
And that's it. No kanga, nothing.
crazy.
Just
That's
like
not
that.
a lie. Like,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's not a lie,
So
but
so
it's
I
crazy.
hated this teacher because he pinched me once and then he left me with a wound, right? But I mean that was now where the insults come in because my hostel mates taught me all these swear words. And so we're in class. Yes, I did.
That's why I got suspended in grade 3.
I did, but I didn't know. I didn't know those were insults. So I'm confidently speaking out these words, and my classmates are there like giggling. Mind you, this is like grade 6. My classmates are giggling and laughing, and next thing I know, this man just walks up to me. And then he pinches me. So you know, like in class, you have to stand up when you're answering and all that.
Yeah.
So he pinches me. So I'm looking at him. I'm like,
What
the hell did I just say? What did I do
You
to
don't
earn this?
understand what you did, yeah?
And it ended there. So later now, I'm asking my classmates, because I think they felt sorry for me since I was crying and all of that. I didn't really understand. So they were actually laughing. They're like, no, that's an insult. You shouldn't have said it to the teacher. We didn't know you were going to use it in class. I'm like, you guys are evil. You guys are so evil.
Yeah.
Not you feeling bad.
You guys are so freaking evil.
So
How dare you?
my own insult story. Mpandeni was a girls' school first and foremost. It wasn't just a girls' school; it was a convent school.
Oh God.
So I went to Minda High.
Yeah. So we're surrounded by brothers, fathers, sisters, and our headmistress is a sister. So obviously, I want to show off that I've learned some new Ndebele words. There was this famous phrase, it was like a song, Amaxoxo anguten ayadluma emlanjeni elinye lathi gxumxoxo.
Yes.
We still
got it. I still got it.
So at first, I just sounded like I was insulting. You know, it just sounded like you're going the whole time.
P.S. Dr. Tifa just broke a rule of cheersing. She did not drink.
Oh, excuse me.
You may continue.
Yeah. Then they taught me a phrase, because I asked, so how do I say good morning, ma'am? And they told me the biggest insult. I know you know what it is. I know you know what it is.
It will not be repeated on TV.
Guys.
We're not gonna do it.
I wish it was for tech. I really wish it was for tech, because it would have been a lot easier. What I said to this lady, because I walked up to her confidently.
Like, we're gonna do this.
What was the insult? I'm so curious.
Off camera.
I'll tell you off camera. Just ask me later. But I walked up to her, all confidence, all smiles, and I get up to her and I'm like.
I tried.
And I'm like, good morning, sister. And her jaw just dropped. Her demeanor just changed. And I just looked at her and I'm like,
What did I just
Did
say?
she slap
what's
you?
wrong? No, she didn't.
Thank goodness.
She just pulled me to the side. She was a Nanya. She pulled me to the side and she says, do you know what you just said to me?
She was kind.
She was really kind. She was really kind. She was really kind. Sisters are kind. So she pulled me to the side and she goes, do you know what you just said? I'm like, no. Then she tells me, and this was the look on my face, literally.
I'm so sorry, sister.
You can't even say you're sorry.
I was speechless. I honestly.
You might start
First, I
crying
didn't
even.
believe that those words came out of my mouth.
I can imagine the truth.
I was like, if I was home, my mom would be like, bring some sunlight and jig. We need to clean out your mouth. That's my mom. Bleach out that mouth. It was that bad. But after that, I became so passionate, I learned the language. I started to outdo them at their own language because I was that pissed.
I remember I actually got a B in Shona, like in grade 7.
I
And
got
my
a
teacher
1.
was so shocked, like, you beat people who actually grew up speaking Shona.
Yeah.
It's usually Afrikaans.
Like
Yeah.
I did Afrikaans as well, and my little brother actually, I feel so bad for this guy because, like I said, I got expelled in grade 3, and he's my little brother. So whenever I had to,
Suspended or expelled?
it's the same situation that you were in about people teaching you Swahili, and you think you're saying something nice, kumbe, you're insulting the teacher. So I got expelled because of that, and I feel really bad for my little brother because he's 3 years younger than me. So he had to move with me.
More zygotes.
Leave me alone. So like he had to move with me, and then we moved like, so my little brother can actually speak Afrikaans fluently because he grew up on that. I was like, do you want to learn Afrikaans or French? I was like,
Hello, French.
Bonjour, bonjour. Ça va?
Ça va bien, merci.
So like my little brother can speak Afrikaans, and like he had little Afrikaans.
Is he back in Tanzania?
He's here. Yeah, he's here. He works at Aga Khan now.
Nice.
And the thing is, he's Tanzanian, obviously.
Yeah,
We
by
have the same mom
yeah.
and dad. So like,
I had so many questions.
by heritage.
so like he grew up, and of course he had that experience of like cursing out his teachers. But we were far away from home, so we couldn't just get expelled just because like you cursed out your teachers. And it's so funny because sometimes he would come home and like speak Afrikaans, but he's cursing people out. He doesn't know that he's cursing people out. And we're just there like, "Yeah, just go to sleep."
Yeah. So like now, how do we adapt? Like,
Yeah.
how do you
By
figure?
the way.
You mentioned adaptability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So adaptability. Oh my God, I've been in Dar too long.
English came on
I need
a
to
boat.
travel.
English came on a boat.
Indeed, it did. It doesn't.
You don't count.
Oh, English came on a boat.
I was on
No,
the
your
boat.
daddy paid for that English. Use it.
Yeah.
I told
My
my
job
kids
will do it
that. I
too.
told my kids that when they break English, I'm like, yo, did I just waste school fees?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, anyways, adaptability. It has to do with, there are people who are rigid in their personality, in that you take them here, you take them there, nothing about them changes. So, as humans, we have that ability to constantly adapt, to constantly change our narratives, to change our beliefs, to change our
Way of being.
our sorry.
Aware.
Yes, our awareness basically on a general basis. So if you're able to do that, you're better able to cope. I mean, you got here the moment you realized maybe this family structure that I'm not used to is not working for me. What do? Sit back, reflect, introspect, observe. I always say it's good to observe because you will learn. Well, as psychologists, we're constantly observing. And I don't know why we can't turn it off. We are always observing.
I think as humans, like it's a constant, like we're always observing.
Oh, honey, there are humans that do not care.
Caring and
humans-
observing are two different things.
There are
though.
humans that you would, something is happening right next to them,
And they have no idea.
Apathy is a gift.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I
That
always,
most
I
are
always
not
struggle
blessed
to like being an introvert because I don't talk much, but I
I
don't miss shit.
listen.
Oops.
I listen. And
You don't miss.
I don't miss anything. Like I would be sitting in a room and you don't need to tell me who is who, but I am watching
And you're learning.
and I'm learning and I'm like that
And
one.
you're creating your own picture. Because even when people do tell you what is what or who is who, at the end of the day, people interact with people based on what they get or what they receive from you. So if you're all about giving out good vibes, the meanest person in the room could come and give you good vibes and everybody else will be shocked because they're used to that person being this way. But it's because people tend to connect with you as a person, with who you are. So I always tell people, just be yourself. Everything else will...
And that's
But I
actually
think-
something that I've learned coming back to Tanzania because I used to censor myself a lot to try and like be people's digestible.
Buddy.
Like,
Ooh,
and
no.
the older that I get, yeah, exactly, no. Because the older that I get, the more I'm like, why do I need to dilute myself to fit into the dark standards? or
No,
whatever?
I
And
just
I'm
remember,
to
she's not
myself.
yet on the third floor.
No, she isn't. She's still
Yeah,
growing.
honey, when you get to the
Psycho-
third floor, when you get to the when you get to the third floor, yeah,
Yeah, like I work with her.
Yeah.
So like I listen to her talking. I'm like,
and you're like, oh, the third floor's
cute.
coming,
so
honey.
adorable, like,
The third floor's coming, honey.
And
The
I think that's why
moment
I actually
there
wanted to do
is,
this with her.
Yeah.
Because she's such a Gen Zer.
yeah.
And
Worse
she's
than
like
that,
in
she's a
her
Gen
own,
Zer who's moving back to Tanzania
yeah, and she's
now.
like in her own little bubble.
Yeah,
It's such a bubble. I
And
love the bubble.
so it's very
like-
refreshing to
It's like
watch.
SpongeBob
Just
SquarePants.
Okay, you know what? We're doing this.
The third flow's coming.
No,
You will learn, honey. You will learn.
See, we are gonna give you grace. We are gonna give you
We're
grace.
giving you so much grace. No one gave us the grace, honey.
Like, we can't even
we had no
traumatize
training
her.
rules.
No,
It
we
was just
can.
like push.
We can.
Like,
Lucy's always trying to just push me in there.
you're
Yeah.
lucky that she's
But
there to
I
push
told
you.
you that I came in here that was pushed on the deep end.
Yeah.
And now I'm
And you had to learn to swim.
Not the
Yeah.
deep end. You're pushed into the Atlantic Ocean and you're living on the Indian coast.
Exactly.
Like they throw you in the deep end and they'll be like, kick your legs.
Cold out here.
Yeah, so
Falling.
like, I work with her and then I watch her. I'm like, okay,
So adorable.
I can work with that. I
Yeah.
can work with
I
that.
can mold it.
I can-
yeah?
You can
and
try.
Like, you know,
You
like,
can
when,
mold
when I
it.
came, there was this one lady I once worked with, and she kind of made it her mission to tell me how to behave, how to do this, how to do that. And it really,
'Cause you're
at first, it
you're
really,
fresh.
it kind of
Why are you trying to
made me get into my head because now I'm questioning constantly,
Everything,
Am I
yeah.
doing things right?
Yeah.
Am I speaking right?
You lose
I don't
confidence
want
after
to
a
lose
while.
amount of people that I work with, but like, you know, there's a way she's coaching me.
Yeah.
So like, there was a part of me that when she came in, I was like, I should be warning her about this. I should warn her about that. Then I was like, nah.
No.
She will learn.
This girl's gonna learn on her own. So you come in here, you were hired because I think you have a good head on your shoulders.
I do.
So figure these things out.
And you do.
And
with time.
because like I work, oh my god, the work thing. But I work in a place where like office, I think this is everywhere though. Office gossip is everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I told her, you're going to hear a lot
of
of
stuff.
things about me. But
A
you get
plethora.
to make your own decision
Exactly.
based on how you interact with me.
Exactly.
But not everyone gives you that grace. And I did not have that grace when I
Exactly.
came. So I'm like, I had so many incidents where I find myself alone figuring things out because no one is taking the time to actually engage with me. There's more of that, she looks
She
a certain way.
Or she thinks
talks a
she
certain
knows
way.
everything, yeah? She thinks she knows
and, you know,
everything.
like how did
Let
she
her
come
fall
into
on
the
her
company,
face,
You know, the rumors that she's doing extramarital favors with the bosses. That's why she got the. So like, then I would start working with people, working with them one on one, and I've had so many people work with me, and later they're like, "You're actually cooler than I thought you were."
It's like
I'm like, I'm sorry.
But like,
with me,
thank you,
it's
but
more like
it's an
Like, at
unwarranted
first I would be
opinion.
so shocked. I'm like, what did you hear about me? And then I was like, I don't give a shit
No,
anymore
it's
about what
fine.
people say
Bleep.
about me. So like everybody comes to me. Oh yeah, sorry, blip. Every time somebody comes at me, and they're like, oh my god, I heard 1, 2, 3, and I'm like, all right, okay.
honestly speaking, when it comes to rumors, and it's beyond the workplace. It even goes towards family members.
Yeah.
The rumors get so strong to a point I'm like, oh, what else did you hear? And I'm gonna get my popcorn and my water.
I want to hear what
Literally.
Yeah.
These days I'm like,
I was
tell
about to
me
say,
more.
I was about to say,
oh,
Eva.
girl, girl. I was like,
Exactly.
same person I look
There's
on the next
episode of Eva
They're literally stories you'd hear about yourself, and you're like, seriously?
I'm like,
This is me.
I'm like, God, was
Are
that
you
part
sure?
of my subscription for this year? Like, am I doing that? Oh, cool, sweet, okay. Oh, I did that with who? They have my number.
Well, the thing is, Nick, not
It's the audacity.
not everybody has that ability to like find the humor or just stand back and be like, people say this, but that's not who I am. There are people who actually succumb to that, and it causes so much
stress.
It's very
so
detrimental.
much mental frustrations
exactly.
and everything. And you would meet, like, I've met diaspora kids who looked so good coming back, and then you come to meet them and they look like druggies.
They look depressed.
And they look so depressed, and
Or they're
not
crazy
everyone,
anxious.
not everyone takes the time to sit and talk to them and be like, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
But when you listen and the frustrations that this person is telling you, it's family, it's the rumor mill, and they don't know how to deal with that.
You guys.
And how do you help somebody like that?
So when it comes to certain things like the rumor mill, etc., you know, emotional quotient or your emotional intelligence is very important.
Yeah.
And what you can hope for is that your emotional intelligence is developed to a point where you know yourself, I always tell my clients, know thyself, and then stop caring about everything else. Because if you know yourself, you know certain things are not within my ability and certain things are within ability. You're able to build boundaries, which is the next important point I was going to say. It's very important to learn to build boundaries.
Strong boundaries.
Extremely strong. Like, build the flipping wall of Jericho if you have
Gorilla
to.
glue boundary. Like, that needs to be
That's not
surgically
strong
removed.
enough.
No, for real.
It needs God Himself to topple down those
No,
walls.
because
You need the wall of
you
Jericho.
do. I mean, 7 days of running around. Because
God Himself must ordain you to run around for 7 days to bring down my boundaries.
Exactly.
That bad.
honestly speaking, not
And
to
why do
interject
people
in
get
what you're
so
saying.
offended when you set boundaries?
It's not about that. They feel like you're relinquishing their power into your life.
That's exactly what boundaries are.
I know, but the thing is, they feel offended.
You're extending your personal power because it's you. It's your space.
And
And as
honestly,
African, like coming back to Tanzania, a lot of people don't understand that. Like because me personally, as myself,
yes, ma'am.
Yes,
personally,
yes,
Yes,
her.
Miss Ma'am.
I this New Year's I really did draw clear boundaries, and I sent everybody who needed to boundary from my life. I sent them messages and I told you, yo, I still love you. It's not like I don't love you anymore. I just don't want to entertain certain things. Or I
See,
don't want
Gen
to
Zs.
do certain things.
Because the rest
Very
of us
Gen
just
Z.
stop talking.
Fam,
No,
block, delete,
No, we-
block, delete even
exactly,
email.
exactly. So I don't block and delete.
I do. I'm sorry.
Listen, love, my life needs spectators. That's okay.
No.
Just
you
stay
can
there on the
allowed
balcony,
to
watch and observe. It's fine. Maybe
I'm
you'll
sorry.
learn. Maybe you'll learn something.
I'm sorry, but
Maybe you'll learn something.
not
So-
but. I'm sorry. In addition to that, when we
Yeah.
were talking about boundaries, when we were talking about Michango and all that stuff,
Yeah.
literally, I sent a message last year saying that henceforth, before December ended, I was like, I am no longer gonna contribute to anything that's not a funeral. Mm-hmm. And I told them.
But why only funerals?
Because that one's an unexpected thing. I'm not about to
Like,
put money.
it's not like
Well,
you asked
I'm
them
sorry.
when
Why are you married if you don't have money? Why are you marrying if you don't have money?
Also that.
Period. Why are you having a
Anyway,
whole ass
we're
wedding
speaking
if
like
you're
we're
not-
No,
foreign people.
it's the truth though. Because here's the thing, right?
This is exactly.
But it's fine, 'cause here's the thing.
This is exactly why people treat us like aliens in this country.
It's okay though. I am okay with it because here's the thing, right? Kuna watu ambao they're like, oh, nimekopa same number zile kulipa, and I'm like, was I there for the entire lending? Like, was I there for that? No. So unless
when you were planning your
But-
trip.
Lucy, on a serious
And I
note,
still have
God forgive me,
bills to
10
pay.
prison told in the Bible, God forgive me right now. But there are people out there who are like, ile familia pale kuna pesa, hebu twende tukajaribu. And I'm like, I'm sorry, not for you. I have other things
have
to
money
do.
for
So, babe, those
and
are
my
boundaries.
bills.
Those are the boundaries I'm talking
I know,
about.
that's what I'm saying, like-
you can ask me for money. Yeah.
Don't mean I'm gonna give it to you.
I'll give it to
You can
Not
ask
even
me.
if I have it. No.
If I feel
Third
the
floor.
need,
Third floor.
if I feel the
Different
need
things.
to share or to give what I have worked, and I work very hard for my money, what I have worked extra hard
You're going
for,
into my point.
then I will happily give some. For instance, one of my friends is getting married this year.
Congratulations to her.
That's actually a wedding I've been looking forward to. Royce, congrats, babe.
Shout out.
So I remember when she sent me the text that she's getting married, I was like, yes, finally, a wedding I actually want to pay for. And I told her, you've made my day. I'm definitely paying to this wedding because it's something I feel, it's not that they don't have or they can't afford it.
But just to be a part of that.
She's an entrepreneur. She's an interior designer. She did my office. She's really good at it, by the way.
My place.
I'll give you her number.
You should say.
I'll give you her number. So she works really hard for her money. Her man does the same thing. He works really hard for his money.
Who doesn't work hard?
So,
You'd be
so I
surprised.
know.
We'll move on.
So I know it's not that they can't afford it. It's that they want us to be a part of it. Which I think when initially they started this whole Changiana thing. That was the idea, that we want you to be a part of our love story.
Yeah.
We want you to be a part of this. We want you to be a part of that. Yeah? And it shouldn't be something that people are choking you down for. You know,
Oh,
pay
some
them
of us
chango,
are being
pay them
choked.
chango. Sindio. But it should be something that somebody tells you and you're excited. You're like, oh, I want to do this.
Yeah.
I want to be part of this. Yeah?
But now it's become so commercialized.
Exactly.
such that
Public
it's
se-
like buying
So-
a ticket into somebody's
Public service announcement
Yeah.
to the family who are going to be watching this. I am not sorry for what you're hearing.
Something's vibrating.
I'm not sorry for what you're hearing. I'm just sorry it took this long for you to come out there. All I'm saying is this, right? If I know that I know the spouse you're gonna marry, I know the person, I know them chumba, whatever it is, and we have a good rapport, then sure. If I feel like it, I will contribute. Does not mean I might come to the wedding, because here's the thing, right? We have other things to do in life. No offense to people, we do, right? That's what I'm saying. Come on, Msiba. That's you're not gonna plan for the freaking funeral. It happens.
Actually, we do plan for
Do
funerals.
we not have funeral cover anymore?
We do plan for funerals.
I was not trying to go to that direction, but thank you.
But we do plan for funerals.
All I'm saying
do you
is-
not know that somebody
You
is going
know,
to die?
I feel like-
Or
as long as you're alive.
I feel like that was not where I was
But like
going with
death
that,
is the
but
one
it is
thing we're
okay,
all
ma'am.
guaranteed.
But it happens.
All I'm saying is this, right?
happens.
Msiba wa ghafla. Someone passed away.
Unajuaje kuwa ni msiba wa ghafla?
My guy, are you good? Are you good?
Anyone can
Ajali
be
inatokea.
from now.
You're being hit by a bus or boda.
Still planning.
All I'm saying is this, right? There are people out there whose
I
lives.
see why we're treated the way we're treated.
Yeah, you see?
No, honestly
She
speaking,
sees it.
I get it.
She gets it.
No.
She gets it.
Here's the thing. Only our parentals will understand where we're coming from, because we are in that sphere of like in the diaspora where you plan for everything. There's no gafla.
Exactly.
You know? But then over here it's like, oh, mchango harusi, son of party, kitchen party, couple of mama.
Wait.
And I'm like,
No, unachangia everything.
Fam, that's why
100K.
I can't wait
That's
to get
why I
married.
said-
Okay, that's the thing. Like,
I can't wait to get married. I'm a choke all of y'all to
it's not
pay.
enough. Like, even if you send Mchangwako, let's say you
I
send
love you, but
20K.
miss you.
I'm
Rebecca.
choking all of y'all.
We'll be like,
no, but for real, because that's why I'm like, in December, I told them, I am no longer going to contribute to anything because I have my own life to live. There's too much to do. And also because of what I've gone through with, like, you know, family, inheritance, all that, like, it's too much. So I was like, guys, if you don't invite me to your wedding, I'm okay. Like, I told them vehemently, I was like, listen, folks, I won't love you less.
I'm not about this life.
I will not love you less, but I will not put a single cent into that, because here's the thing, right? If I'm not that close to you and you're like, Eva, where's Mchango? I'm like,
I don't know you.
can we have a conversation?
Sorry.
But you get my point though,
Yeah,
right?
I actually had, and
Not
People,
I had,
We're back to that sphere of you're not from Tanzania. Asante, as
no,
we
I
drink.
had to do this, guys. I had to do this one. Sorry. This guy was renting at my Mama Mdogo and Baba Mdogo's compound. So
You
I
had a
met him there.
conversation once.
I met him there. We became friends. Occasionally, we would hang out. At the time, because he was closer to my cousin than he was closer to me. So
Yeah.
my cousin was like we're each other's handbags.
coach,
Like
yeah?
yes, we're out Monday to Monday, but like not without her. Like she was my
go-to.
So because she was closer to him, I started like talking to him every now and then. And my Tanzanian society, you're renting in a place where your landlady is there, so chances of coming in and your landlord and the wife are sitting on the porch,
Very
mnasalimiana,
high,
and
yeah.
you're talking and all of that. It
Normal,
happens
natural,
daily.
all the time.
So I couldn't exactly avoid it. Well, I'm good, but now, this one time I'm back in Namibia. And mind you, I hadn't seen this guy since that holiday I'd met him. And it was a holiday, not that it was like when I was leaving, there was a holiday.
Oh, so you were not even friends.
We're
you were
not that
basically
friends. So that
friendly.
holiday we went, like those last few days where my parents gave us freedom to do whatever the hell
Yeah.
we wanted with our friends, that's when I hung out with him.
So you were
we're not like
acquaintances.
tight besties and all of that. So I come back to Tanzania, and I think he saw my Instagram post and,
Stalkers.
2 and 2 and figured out I'm back in Tanzania. This man texts me, hi, can I have, I'd already seen, by the way, engagement posts about like the wedding and everything. So I just view, at most double tap and, move on with life.
Yeah. Move on.
Congratulations.
Hallelujah, hang back.
This man DM'd me.
Ooh, DM. DM.
DM.
Not even WhatsApp text.
DM. He didn't have my WhatsApp number.
Oh yeah, because you don't even like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
He didn't have my WhatsApp number.
audacity.
So he DMs me and he says,
to be married,
can
by
I
the
have
way.
your number? Let me tell you. And I was sober. I was very sober. I was
Why
like,
was he asking my number? Oh, for that.
So you can send.
What?
this was my, my
Chango.
response to him. I was like, so that you can ask me from Chango for your wedding.
And
Without
she didn't get a
skipping
reply.
a beat. No,
And I'm
without
assuming the
skipping a
audacity
beat.
was
This
yes.
man said, yes, my wedding is coming, Sikoflani, and I would like for you to attend. The Mchango is so and so.
Get married?
literally
if you
missed the
know you
sarcasm
can't
of it
afford
all.
The fuck?
He missed the sarcasm in that
Oh,
response.
I'm
This is
sorry.
why I said earlier.
Sarcasm.
How
Sarcasm
to
is,
It's a
LA.
privilege.
it's a love language. Like,
It is.
you cannot use sarcasm
I
with
still don't
everybody.
understand why us as Tanzanians insist on having such elaborate weddings.
The problem is
So
not
big
the elaborate
wedding. The problem
wedding.
is
and
not
a
the elaborate-
7-day wedding at that.
Yeah,
Not just
the problem
one
is
day.
not the
That's
wedding.
not the problem at all.
The problem isn't
But
the wedding.
other people
The
pay
problem
for it.
is, I and you, we're not that close. We don't know each other like that.
I have
And
cousins
the
where I'm
fact
like,
that
nah,
he was
don't talk to me.
confident enough to answer and say yes.
It's the
I
audacity.
remember looking
Yes.
at that text and being like,
It's the level of audacity.
okay,
It is the. It's definitely
And
the
just not
audacity.
your
Now-
man.
I'm going to look rude
It's the audacity.
because I said I am not going to Changia for this wedding because I'm not going to attend.
It's the audacity.
I don't know your wife to be. Like,
I don't even know you.
yeah,
that
I don't
well.
even know you that well. Like, we haven't spoken in years. So, you know, I'm not.
Fam. Like it's
I
one
don't
thing.
know you.
It's one thing for like any of her siblings to be like, "Yo, sis,"
Yeah,
Chango. And I'm like, "Yeah, 100%,
Of
no
course,
problem."
you're my sister.
You know, like we're family, friends, we've known each other for a long time now, and whatever. You know, like we have the rapport, we have the closeness, not a problem. I have family members who are like, "Even the go," and I'm like, busy.
You already know something is coming.
Here's the thing. There are those,
Especially on the
there are
test you
those
have
where
to do.
I'm honestly like, I know what the problem is, and if I can, I will make time for you. But then there are those that I'm like,
Who are you?
not even. Like, I have become my father and been the king of blue ticking. You're that man with blue tick emails.
I'm at the thumbs up.
No, I don't respond. I just blue tick you.
No. You know blue ticking? My dad, may his soul rest in peace, that man with blue tick emails. You know how much you have to blue tick an email where it's like not even respond. Blue tick.
Just red.
Just red.
Really
No,
red.
and you're like, as per my last email to your own father, blue ticking, that man, that black man with blue tick emails, I beg.
But your dad was a character, babe. Your dad
But
was a
you remember,
character.
like that,
I
ooh,
remember your
my
dad was a character.
was the king of sarcasm and blue ticking. He'll be like,
I'm actually very afraid of introducing, like,
Asking my next question, not introducing.
Ask
Because
it.
we've talked about family. We've veered off into.
We didn't even finish
We didn't
boundaries.
finish, yeah, boundaries. And we've already veered off into relationships. So I need you to finish
Okay.
your pieces of advice
Okay.
before I ask my next question. Because I know with this next question, we are going to take about an hour to unpack this, guys.
Okay.
I'm just gonna be quiet.
Yeah, so I need Sifa to finish
So
what she needs to
boundaries,
say.
boundaries, back to boundaries. So the best would be, you said boundaries that work for you. We were talking about money. We veered off into michangos because
It's the only money that
It's-
comes in this country.
The Chango.
Mchango wa msiba, mchango rambi, mchango wa harusi, so that's
Relax.
see, let's carry on.
Relax.
It's a so sport. So if you want to make me cry, stop.
This really triggers you.
It does. It really triggers her. Honey, sorry. Pole. Give her a hug real quick.
I need someone to.
A tighter one.
You're in a better place.
I've been rubbing her back for so long.
Yeah. Yeah. So with boundaries, I would say create boundaries that work for you. Yeah. Because when it comes to contributing to anything, it must not leave you wanting. In other words, it shouldn't leave you feeling empty, feeling tapped out. I always say you can't pour from an empty cup.
Yeah.
Be it physically, be it emotionally, be it financially, be it in any way, you can't pour from an empty cup. Make sure something or someone is pouring into you before you can pour out into somebody else. So when it comes to contributions, I always assess, how close are we? First thing, I would have contributed to that either. I mean, we're not even acquaintances. If you don't have my number, we're not close enough for me to do anything that close with you. But that's me on a personal level. That's my boundary.
Yeah, you white.
It's okay. I've been called coconut so much. I'm used to it now. I'm used to it
I
now.
actually called somebody a coconut recently, and it went over their head.
Oh my goodness. They didn't get
Just
it.
call them an Oreo.
I felt
That's
so.
even worse.
They may not even. Coconut is better. Yeah. Oreos until you have to think about. Also now we have the strawberry Oreos, the red cream. Now
I
there's
called somebody
Coca-Cola.
like a coconut, and it really. And I'm looking at this text, and I'm like, this guy really did not understand what I just
No, I
said.
didn't. And there we are. We veered off again.
Sorry.
Do we all just have collective ADHD?
I need.
Yeah, we do. I'm
Yeah.
starting to think we might actually have an ADHD issue here at play. So apart from looking at how close we are, I'm probably going to also assess how important is this issue for me. Will I attend? Will I not attend? If I want to attend, no, I'm not going to attend every wedding I get invited to. Let's be honest. I'll attend if you're actually an important person in my life. I will show up because I would see or deem it an honor. But if I've just met you at a function like 3 years ago and I gave you my number, yes, you asked
all
me,
of a sudden,
I probably will not be traveling all the way to Arusha to attend your wedding. I'm not going out of my
The way
way.
she's throwing shade at some of us.
I'm not going.
Have you done it before?
I'm not.
No, it's not that. Oh,
I'm not going to go out of my way for
sweetheart, I
it.
told my family, if you cannot afford a plane ticket or a passport, you cannot come to my wedding. I will be outside the country.
When I relax.
For your wedding, even if you had to throw it in France, we'll find a way.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, if you
That's
tell me,
the energy.
then you will be there.
We'll find a way.
Energy right there.
See, that's the difference between closeness and not being close. That's a quick boundary right there. If you have to scroll through your entire phone to look for my name so you can try and remember who I am, we're not close enough for you to ask me from Chango, right? And if I have to really think, who is this? Before it clicks, before it immediately
I've even gone
clicks.
so far. Just the fact that I need to text Sifa, and then I open the chat and I'm like, how do I start this message?
It's already, we don't know each other well enough.
Like if I have to
I'm
like,
sorry.
good morning,
Hi, how
there's a
are
certain
you?
formality, it's like,
That you just know.
we don't know each other that well.
So for me, those who know me well, the first thing I'll find in my inbox will be love, hun, babe, you know?
Yeah.
Then I know, okay, when she texts me, oh sis, then I know.
Since I'm getting married.
Or it's the B word,
You
like
know?
female dog.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that one.
then I know, like we're really tight, like we're like, yeah, like.
Give me the
like,
drama.
Okay, fine, I'm coming.
Like, oh, you know, guess what just happened?
And then there's some who would call me literally a donkey, but the Swahili version for it because I can't
Swahili? What's-
Swahili, literally Swahili.
What's the Swahili version?
Girl,
It's a donkey. It's actually English for a donkey. You know that?
But
Yeah.
what's the Swahili
It's in the
version?
Oxford
I
Dictionary.
need to know.
I'll spell it so they don't blip me. TAKO.
T-A-K-O.
Odd. Bleep.
she had to.
She had to.
She really
The
had
blonde is strong in this one.
But yeah, then I know, okay, this is somebody close, yeah? So there are others, apart from closeness, you'd look at, when was the last time I spoke to this person? If you and I
What
haven't
do they
spoken
mean
in
to
2
me?
years, Han, maybe you shouldn't be asking me. I'll just, if I can, I will just contribute a little bit and I'll let you know I will not be attending, but thank you for the honor or thank you for the invite. I may even just contribute maybe 10, 20 at most if I'm feeling really generous. I would send a ticket for a solo and that's it. But I'll let you know I'm probably not attending. Or there's some people where, okay, maybe we're not that close, but there is a closeness of sorts. I would ask any of my friends, do you want to go to a wedding? Do you want free drinks? Yeah. People actually do want to do that. So I may just give the ticket away and be like, yeah, you can attend. I'm not going. And I'll let you know. I'm not coming, but I'll send people. Yeah, like that. But when it comes to other boundaries now, we're talking about emotional boundaries, yeah?
No one cares about that in Tanzania, man.
That's why you set them for yourself.
For yourself.
We're talking
Boundaries are
about,
not just
these
about
are
the other
boundaries.
person.
Yeah. They are about you more than they are about the other person. Because whether we like it or not, the other person will react to you however they feel like. You have
That's not your
you have
problem.
no control over that. You can't control that. Like no matter what you do, what you try, you can't control how other people will react to you, how people will act towards you. You can't control any of that, but you can control how you will do it. That's why I'm saying the boundaries that you set for yourself are very important. They're the most important boundaries. So you decide emotionally, what are you willing to take from people? What are you not willing to take from people?
Not just
it doesn't
from people,
matter.
even from like direct family members, because then they will just.
But they are people.
No, I'm just saying. Like,
When I say people, I mean humans in general.
true. I'm just saying.
Whether it's your mom, your dad, your sister, your friend, your cousin, whoever it is, extendeds, workmates, colleagues, there is always a limit as to what you can take from anybody.
I'm remembering her conversation with her, like, oh yeah, oh you're
Exactly.
you're
Yeah, you see,
Like,
exactly. Because when I came back also, I'm sure my dad got those complaints. For instance, my mom's side of the family, we're quite close. I think you've met some of my relatives on my mom's side. Because my mom, they were just girls, 5 girls. So they grew up really tight. As a result, every holiday, my mom's kids and all my other 4 moms, you know how it's like in Tanzania, they're all moms. They're all your mothers. Mam dogo, mam kubwa, they're all just your mothers. So all my 4 moms and my mom, all my 5 moms and their kids, myself included, were there. So every Christmas, Easter, birthdays, before we left the country, it was always together. So we had that bonding still there. So even after coming back, they were literally most of my support system. Though some of them were also like, you know, a pain in my pain in my beep, in my donkey, yes, pain in my donkey. But obviously, they're always bad apples, guys. They're always bad apples. But you learn then to set boundaries. You learn to say no. That's a very important thing.
And it's a full
You
sentence.
learn to, it is a full sentence. It doesn't need an explanation. It doesn't need a no, because just no, I will not do that.
The amount of trouble I got
if you
into
need
with
to
the word
add,
no. Oh, child.
I know.
Knowing when to say no and when to say yes, obviously it needs to serve you. You can't go and say yes when you have to go out of your way. That's why I said, you're having your wedding in Arusha. Girl, I contribute to a ticket now. I must get a flight ticket all the way to Arusha, then find accommodation. If you're not that important,
The practicality of
I'm
it is
probably
just too
not
much.
showing up.
The logistics are too much.
That's why
I'm not showing up. It's going to cost me more than $1 million to attend your wedding. I'm not coming. If you're not that important.
And I'm not even the one who's getting married. I'm just gonna be there for a few hours.
Adaptability.
Being versatile instead of being rigid, and building strong boundaries. Very
And no
important.
is a full
And then
sentence.
finally learning to say no and not explaining yourself. You don't owe anybody an explanation. As long as you understand what you're doing, as long as what you're doing is within the limits of being right, you're not in the wrong, you don't owe anybody
And
an
I feel like in
explanation.
Tanzania, saying, like you said, thank you, doctor. I feel like saying no in Tanzania is such a big deal. Like when
It
you
is.
say
It is.
no,
It is.
people
It is.
expect, like we said,
It
no
is.
is a full
They'll be like,
sentence, but
why?
People will be like, yeah,
Why? Because
It's
I
like,
say
no, but like, why?
No.
It's like, no, but like,
So,
why?
No is like.
It's a full sentence.
No is taboo.
I want to.
in Swahili I would say hapana staki. Literally, hapana staki.
That did not
I
sound the way it
want
did.
to touch on something that I know is gonna trigger Eva a lot.
I could just walk away from this conversation.
I know wine is finished, Evo.
Bye, girl.
Almost finished.
We need something stronger than wine. This is going to, by the way, this is going to be a whole other episode. So we're just like, Eva, I'm specifically
The way
talking to
Lucy
you.
is coming for me.
We're
guys.
coming for you.
It's been like 4 years.
You can
It's
just
been
say
4
no.
years since the last podcast we did. I'm so sorry,
you
Lucy.
can
I
just say no.
apologize.
I am coming for you very specifically. This is going to be a podcast. We're going to sit down and break this and unpack this particular
Yes, ma'am.
question
Yes, ma'am.
in detail
Yes, ma'am.
in another episode.
Yes, ma'am.
So for now, highlights
Lord
and
Jesus.
headlines.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Give us a little teaser.
So on like the aspect of saying no,
Yeah.
I want to bring in another aspect of
like social culture in Tanzania.
I see where you're going.
Yes.
Don't go there. Don't go there.
Uko. Let
Don't
me even pull the mic away from Eva.
Don't go there. Don't go there.
My girl is about to. Anyway, so like dating and relationships in Tanzania.
It's like a song for everything now. She goes closer, and in my head, I'm like, closer.
Yeah, so dating and relationships in Tanzania. This was a major culture shock.
Trauma.
Now, this question, I kind of threw it to the diaspora guys. So the first time, the question was, oh yes, it actually was to all the
Eva is
diaspora
dying on the
babies.
inside.
And
I
I threw another question out. Like when it comes to dating and relationships, what shocked you the most?
Wait, before we go there, have you guys been on dating apps?
Another episode. Shush. Another episode.
You look guilty.
We have very few minutes left.
Mercy.
We still have like an
Literally,
hour.
I just had an episode on my way
Still have an
here.
hour. Guys,
She was not
our
touching that.
cameraman is just looking at us. Time.
We have an hour.
We still have,
So highlights.
So this one topic, highlights, very important.
Okay.
Oof, dating apps. That's a conversation for another day.
Let's not
So-
touch.
Let's not even get into
Let's
that.
not, let's
yeah.
not.
So on the aspect of like dating, relationships, and still navigating the social scene in Tanzania. So the question was, what were the biggest challenges that you met where dating was concerned? I grouped this into men and women, and then I kind of summarized all these comments because I wasn't gonna go into breaking down everything that was written in those texts. Those people are crazy.
Yes.
Men said their challenges were entitlement and quick money schemers.
I've heard that.
Yes. Women said bare minimum
Yeah.
in terms of planning dates, in terms of everything relationship
How are you
wise.
gonna ask me on a date?
That's
How are you
conversation.
gonna ask me on a date and then expect me to choose the location and all the details and everything?
Oh,
and you're the one.
no.
Bare-
Forget about just making me pick the location. Now you're gonna tell me,
We're gonna get-
please make
Can
it
we kindly let her
affordable.
finish what she was
I'm
saying?
gonna catch y'all. Okay. So bare minimum, insecurities,
Yeah.
hygiene,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
and like top of the list with the most
My
votes.
the camera guy is like Lord.
Top of the list with the most votes.
I have a friend who
Top
needs to
of
be
the list with the
seated
most
for
votes.
this.
Yeah.
I'm afraid of what she will say.
Come cook for me.
Sir, are you guilty of this?
I don't even cook for my own brother.
I ugly laughed.
Bleep, 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 bleep. That's what
You're
I
gonna have to cut this laughing out part because
Oh, I ugly laughed.
oh god.
cook for you.
Oh Jesus.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So my dad
I
has
had-
not had a meal that I've made in a while.
My dad did
My
the
dad
dishes
is
like
the one who cooks.
like when I tell guys that guys, my
Maybe
dad
this
is
is
like
where the entitlement comes
an example
Entitlement
of
on
what
the
I can
female
tolerate
side.
in dating.
Yeah, that's what I
There was a
Maybe
day
this
my
is
dad
where it
was
comes
here
from.
in
That we're entitled.
he was here in December.
I remember.
And I was working throughout December, so I was so busy. And I remember coming home this morning because I left in the morning. I hadn't done the dishes, and I came home and this man had washed dishes and stacked them on the dish rack, and I'm like, oh.
My dad is.
Because I'm thinking I'm going to do dishes and then I have to start cooking for him and all of
You
that.
realize all our dads are married.
Let's go back to that
They've been
entitled
trained.
part.
They've been trained.
Lucy. Like
So,
if you grew up with fathers
these
like
were
this.
these were the but I don't think these guys meant entitlement in the sense of the kind of actually
These
yes.
were guys speaking about
These were guys
girls,
talking
yeah?
about entitlement that they make demands that are not realistic.
Yes.
Because they know that these
Unrealistic
guys
demands.
come from outside, they've grown up outside the
So
country
they
and all of that.
expect it.
Yeah, so they're expected to treat them a certain way, they're expected to have a certain amount of money
Oh, they want
and
the
all of
Hallmark
that.
treatment.
Yes.
Given-
They want the movie
They want the
treatment.
Hallmark.
Yeah.
They want the
So
Christmas special.
yeah, so for
Okay.
men, that was where entitlement came from. I think even for women, we could say entitlement as
Sorry,
like,
but you get my point though.
but
Because
I
you
had
was
to
out
put it.
laughing,
I
but
had
I'm
to
like,
put it in the way that
I
most
get
of
it
these
fully.
messages came in. Bare minimum, but like as I said, top of the list was that come cook for me type of date.
Yeah.
So-
or they
Now-
want the date to be at their house.
Yes. Now,
Lucy was like, I know for a fact that
She targeted
I am going. I'm
you been a
actually.
victim
Hold
to
up,
that?
hold up. I'm gonna put on a timer and ask Eva a question. Guys, I'm gonna put on
We're
a
going
timer.
to give you a limited amount of
I am going to put on a timer.
It's
It's 6 minutes to the next hour. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes. Mind you, this is me being very
You're
generous.
being super generous.
The moment this alarm goes beep, 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 I am
Yeah,
cutting
out.
you off.
No problem.
Now, Eva, what were your dating expectations? Like wait, I will start it when the timer, when I'm done with my question. So how do your dating, like expectations, how do they differ, like from where you came from and then when you came back to Tanzania? Like what was the difference in your dating expectations? And go.
So, for starters, a lot of men in Tanzania do not understand the art of chivalry, of being a gentleman. They don't do that. Opening doors does not exist for them. Picking up a tab does not exist for them. When they're taking on a date, like I am a very exposed woman. I'm a very educated woman. So having to dim myself down for them, having to now incorporate their lack of is just not even lowering standards. It's more like having to just
My tea's done.
Need more tea leaves.
having to, you know, make sure that they feel comfortable around me. Because it's like, I can, you know, having to put powder on like, you know, a whole lot of bronzer for the sake of like not having that shine for makeup. Yeah, so you're like a whole Oscar trophy and having to dim it down.
So bad.
It is. Now, a lot of men are so used to, nitumia chips in nanja.
Men.
What men are you dating,
Who are you dating?
babe?
Time out.
You did say from when I first started to now. When I first started.
She's paused your time. She's
Of course,
paused your time.
We need you to answer this.
Eva, who are you dating?
It's not bad. It's like when you're sussing them out, right? They're like, oh, umekula, right? And I'm like, I cool, I've eaten or I haven't eaten. And they're like, okay, but not to me, I like chips. I'm like, who said I want chips?
I'm trying to watch my bleep.
Not even that. I've never cared about watching my figure. I've never
No,
been
it's
this kind
not
of
about
person.
that, but hello.
I'm just saying, like, I'm like, look, I
No,
go to
I
restaurants.
was waiting to hear her say how much actually came through.
How much were they sending you?
Oh, were they even? You remember we had the convo before we started, like, no one's sending?
We're gonna restart the timer, so we're not gonna catch you. Continue.
Okay, cool. So, like, the whole thing of Johnny Manwangu Nipikie. And I'm like, I'm not trying to get murdered. Let's start there. I've lived in South Africa with it's such a high crime rate of women dying. So we're not doing that.
Yeah.
We're not doing that. Also, the whole thing of like, it's bad.
It's hard to keep a straight face. Continue.
No, it's okay.
You lost me at hello the chips.
No, but no, like for real, because the thing is, people are so used to like, nataka zege or whatever, like, you know, they want that.
yeah.
And I'm like, bro, I go to Cape Town Fish Market.
Yeah.
And there was a time I'm like, don't expect, God forgive me, because I have a certain caliber of men that I'm trying to attract, you know?
Okay.
And it's like, you'll meet somebody, God forgive me again for the people that are gonna come at me, but you'll meet somebody at Cape Town Fish Market with his friends, but the one friend's paying the bill. They'll ask you out and they're like, oh, Najua siku, to out with my friends. And I'm like, don't try to repeat something. I don't want no scrubs. Just like,
No scrub. Scrub is a guy that get no love from me. Sitting on the passenger side, all the best friends ride. Try to holler at me.
Dear Lord, I think the most
but you
impressive
understand my
thing
point.
of this little sing-out session that we had is the fact that she knows the lyrics.
I know. The Zygos came through.
I almost forgot.
I am so
almost forgot she's Zyga.
Because we were already very, very young when this came out,
Yeah.
and she knows the
She was not born.
Girl,
Congratulations.
She was
You're
not
almost
born.
there.
She was not
We're
born.
starting.
we're proud of you.
Finally.
No, but
You know
also-
what they say? They say you sit next to somebody for 5-10 minutes, it rubs off. on you.
Yeah, you were raised right.
Indeed.
I was. Shout out to my mom and dad.
All right, we are restarting Eva's
Back
time.
to
All right.
business.
Okay.
So like, also another thing is this whole thing of like, nakupenda. And I'm like, you don't.
On day one.
Yeah, like this gaslighting. Hey.
Not even gaslighting. I'm just
On
like,
day
the love
one.
bombing. It's like, wewe piskali sana, nimekuelewa sana, unajua.
On day one.
Girl, I've had Negroes in my DMs, some, nimekuelewa sana, naomba basi namba yako ya WhatsApp. And I'm like,
Who are you?
not even, I'm like, God, give me the strength not to cuss people out because I'm trying to seek ye first, the kingdom of God. Like, I am really trying my best, you know what I mean?
It's so cringe.
And then there's like, you know what? Let's have a baby together. I'm like, a baby with who?
Have a
I'm-
baby.
Then you run
Oh,
away after
no.
8 months.
I have had the whole play. In fact, I've told guys now. I'm like, listen, I already have cousin brothers
I
who
was
have
about
given
to
me
sing, have a
shangazis.
baby by me, baby,
Baby,
baby.
I've literally told a few men in my life, I'm like, I already have people that call me shangazi, where I don't even know their mothers. I don't know them, but I have been given
That's the truth.
aunties.
You have nieces and
I have
nephews.
nieces and nephews, but I'm like, do I know? I'm like, I once told my niece, I told her, I can never hit you because I have no idea who your mother is. I have never met your mother.
I don't know what she's capable of.
Not even that. I'm like, if I hurt you and they take me to jail because I hurt somebody else's kid, they have every right.
Every right, yeah.
Because I'm like, I will beat every one of my sister's kids because I know where
I
they came
never came
from.
out of my sister.
Like I have the right to do that. I will do it. I
If
might.
I have
But I don't know who your mama is.
We've veered off.
no, we did. It's fine. It's fine.
I would slaughter you.
It's okay. It's okay.
Just talking facts.
It's okay. You can slaughter me, but the thing is this, right? I
You
know-
would have whooped my baby, but I will slaughter
It's fine.
you.
It's fine. 'Cause I'm-
In private.
It's okay though, right?
Not in front of
Not in front of the baby.
Exactly, because punish the kid, spare the rod, pull the child, whatever. But like, when it comes to how men are like, unajua, I'm like, listen, I already have, cousins who have baby mamas. Not one, multiple. And they're not even trying to marry them. So I'm like, what sperm do you think you have that's good enough for these eggs? I'm sorry, that's not happening. If you're not gonna be able to afford to take me out on a date, on a flight,
You can't afford a kid.
You
Kids
cannot-
are expensive.
Literally. and once again,
I know,
God,
I have
I
two
know
of
that I'm
them.
about to expose a lot of things right now, but it's almost done. Yeah. So with my last relationship, I was being flown out of the country for dates.
As you
So that
should.
was the bar.
That's the
That
standard.
is true.
I was being flown out on dates. That was my bar. So right now, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not about to go lower than that.
I'm sure this guy was
As you
not here.
shouldn't, girl.
No, he wasn't.
But in Tanzania,
But yeah, in Tanzania.
Yeah, but hayupo.
not the point.
The fact that he can actually afford to do it.
Yeah,
I was
guys,
being
do
flown
better,
out.
do
I was being
better.
pampered.
And time.
And please date in your own tax bracket.
Oh yes.
Is all I'm saying.
God forgive me though.
Why?
God forgive me.
Why are we?
Sound effects. Yo.
Coming for anyone. I'm just
Yes, you are.
saying.
I feel like
came to a happy country.
I should also put Sifa on a time because the way you were laughing and amening everything.
Yeah, we need those sound
No, you are laughing loud.
No, let me just stay for the sound effects. Kwanzaa, let her go first.
It's true though.
Okay.
Because you can hear my home.
Joanne, have you been dated in Tanzania?
No. Why would
Don't
I?
you have a wife?
Don't you ever?
Guys,
Why would-
don't come for me like that.
You came for me.
Girl.
I just said.
Okay, so
Okay.
I've had good and bad experiences dating in Tanzania.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Give us the
So-
last story for a second.
I will start with the one that on my way here, literally just now. That was one of the worst ones. So he was a doctor. I won't say from where.
It's okay.
I fortunately just keep finding myself either dating doctors or lawyers.
High puncher, high puncher.
She didn't say hi.
She's dating in her tax.
No, she didn't say hi.
Very demure.
Not necessarily.
No, she never specified if they were well off. She just said she
You
didn't
don't
know.
mind about it.
Guys, you're eating into
You're
Sifa's
eating
time.
my time.
Oh, okay.
I will eat into your time, babe, just so you know.
Gladly.
Happy. Yours is done. But anyway, so some of the good experiences I've had, still am having, or businessmen, by the way, at that. So it's either doctors, lawyers, or businessmen. I think it's that whole wherever they find you hanging, or where you meet them kind of vibe. Yeah. So the worst experience, maybe I should leave the story for when we do the dating
when we're doing the
thing.
dating episode.
Yeah. But anywho, we broke up 3 years ago. Huh? This guy's still calling me today to remind me. I don't care that you're in a relationship. All I know is you're my woman, you're my wife.
Just say.
And what he gets from me every time is, brother, you and I 3 years ago ended it. No, I never broke up, but I did. It's been 3 years. Move on with your life. Listen there. Now, this is somebody that was giving the bare minimum that everybody was talking about. How many dates did we go on?
How low is the bar?
Extremely low.
The devil's in the limbo.
But it was COVID times. You know, we were not really going out. It was COVID times. And he was a doctor working at a hospital.
I was
COVID times.
COVID times, honey.
Babe, you can't compare.
I know.
Yeah,
You can't. This is my worst experience.
Yeah.
My better experience, the flights out. The
They're always
holidays,
nice, you
the
know?
holidays here, the holidays there. Nice dinners.
Shopping sprees.
Shopping sprees, especially when I travel. It's nice when you check your phone. Like, let me say, kuna mama over here. I like M-Pesa confirmed.
With us it was NMB.
It's NMB.
I'm like, what?
By the way, if you want to make a girl's day, just
So
Money.
it's nice. You know, when you're treated right, it's nice. It boosts your confidence. It makes you feel. I don't even care for flowers. Funny enough, I'm like, flowers are for the bees, honey.
I'll definitely be a bee. That part, I will do the honey.
I'm like, flowers are for the bees. They'll keep my table looking cute for a bit, and then in a few days they're dead. So
That's when he replaces them.
So I'm that kind of person that gives. You know me when I love. Eva knows when I love. I'm a giver, so I give.
Yeah.
I'm always giving. So when you have the bad experiences,
that's why you're a doctor.
Actually, yeah.
therapist. Yes, ma'am.
Guys, don't eat into her time.
So when you're a giver and you get somebody that is not a giver, they really feed into the giving.
Yeah.
And they just take and take and take and take. And they will take emotionally, they will take physically, they will just keep taking financially. They will just keep taking and taking and taking and taking. And you may find yourself unable to feed back into that, feeding back into that system. So you find yourself tapped out at some point. So I've had relationships here in Tanzania where I found myself totally tapped out. And I'm asking myself, how did I get here? How did I allow myself to get here? But there's always that thing of love is blind. When you're in love, there are things you don't see.
And like you said, you're not
It's the truth.
an empty cup.
It's true.
There are things that you don't see. Eva, you do not see yourself depleting. But you just come and you pop up one day and you're depleted.
I don't think I have ever,
So it's nice to actually have somebody that you're giving into and they're giving back.
Yeah.
See, my skin is glowing now, yeah?
Mine too, for other reasons though.
Vitamins are good. But Sifa did good on time, despite
Yes, she
you
did.
guys cutting into
She's a
her.
doctor.
Okay, so Joanne has not dated in Tanzania.
She's a
I need to time myself as well. So guys, don't cut into my time because mine is a lot. Yeah? Mine is a lot. But right now, I am a certified menace to society.
Yeah, it's
As you should.
As I should, like, my friend always, I have this friend of mine, she's always like, listen, you've just decided to be a menace. Girl, you and I don't know how to fight. You need to watch how you talk.
Why
I'm
do
like,
you-
but we have money, you can't bail me out.
And my mom's a lawyer, so I got it.
You know?
Yeah.
So like, I'm like, you just can't bail me out. It's okay. Like, she's like, oh my God, there are things you say that give me anxiety. Because, you cannot fight, I can't fight. What
are we gonna
Happy can fight. My sister can fight.
I always tell
ghetto.
my
Even my sister can fight. Like, I don't fight, but mine.
your sister would.
Like my sister has threatened. Like there are times where I would complain about work when I started, and this little girl She's not little, she's like 27 now. Yeah. But my sister would tell me that she came to my office once.
Oh, you just sold your age, love.
Yeah. She came to the office and she wanted me to show her who everybody that gets on my nerves is.
So she can go lay some
And
hands
so
down.
I showed her who these people were. So this one time somebody got on every single one of my nerves.
Oh.
And Happy's solution was, I can come with my taser and wait for her outside the gate.
Literally, she would walk with a taser.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm like,
pepper
you cannot
spray.
be
You guys, you
tasing.
know I have a taser.
I
I'm
have
like, you
pepper spray in
can't.
the
Yeah, I'm like,
car.
you can't be tasing people at
Tell me
work.
you're living in South
My
Africa,
sister,
but
the
tell me
lawyer-
you're living in South Africa.
My sister, the lawyer that she is,
Yeah.
And
my
it looks
sister
like a
says,
flashlight.
my sister says, if she's outside the gate, that is public space. She's fair meat.
Fair game, huh?
I
All
was
is
like,
fair in love and
no,
war.
But no, it's not
One of
fair.
those
Nobody is
was
safe.
meat.
That's
My
what she
sister
said.
said outside the
Nobody
gate,
is safe.
All is fair
Free
in
game.
love
Fair,
and war.
yeah, it's fair.
and she
was
had
very
a whole,
serious.
she's dead serious, by the way, yeah. She had a whole game plan for this.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Well, that's
that one
efficient.
She
terrifies
does
me.
not play about
She
you.
doesn't.
Ever.
So like I have to watch what I say to my sister because even relationship wise, like when somebody screws up in my life, I cannot tell my sister these things.
Because you know she go and get them.
Because one of two things is going to happen. Either she's going to show up at this dude's house and just cause hell, or she's going to call me out on all the bad decisions that I made that she warned me about.
And she's really good at that.
Yeah. So, by the way, the aspect of hygiene. Okay, so I need to time myself.
You did not time yourself.
No, that was like a sidebar. So hygiene was something that I actually experienced, and my sister again would call me out on it. She's like, "How are you still dating that dude? That dude does not know how to take care of himself."
And it's
Me being me,
Specifically,
Me being
what
me.
was an issue with his hygiene?
body odor, and
Lack
you know,
of brushing
yeah.
your teeth.
So
Oh.
like me being me, I'm like, you know, benefit of the doubt, and I would buy him like deodorants and stuff. But like
That, the investments.
I invested in him.
She's a
I've
giver.
been there. I've been there, girl. I've been there.
She's a giver.
Yeah. So I would invest in you. I'm the big sister, mothering
I've
type of
grown up
person.
with men who invest
And
in themselves.
unfortunately, projection. I don't think we did this one. Oh, maybe part of insecurity as well. I met somebody who was perhaps insecure about my upbringing. And actually, the reason for him breaking up with me was we come from different backgrounds, and I don't think if I take you to my village, you'll be able to cook and to
They want you to
actually
go pound
until we got to
yam.
that point. He came to my house, found me boiling meat on my gas stove, and this guy. Oh, sorry. This guy.
Negro is the proper term.
This man had the audacity to tell me that, why are you boiling meat on gas? It's going to finish. You should be using coal. Mka. I'm like, but why did I buy the gas?
Yeah, it's
To use it.
You know? And I got this whole lecture about,
It's a
You're wasting money.
and you know, so I ignored that one. But now the breaking up was when he brings this whole, we've
His
grown up in
village.
different backgrounds. I'm not going to be able to manage in his village. I'm like, but you met me living in town. Will you be marrying me to go
back to
live
your
in the
village.
village? So
that was a good
yeah,
point.
so that was one.
story was very
That was one.
Intriguing.
Then, oh yeah, we will definitely have to get into details about that. Then I met another one. I liked this dude. I dated this dude for close to 3 years.
That's a long
Only for me kupigwa character development, guys. Do you understand character development?
Tell us. We don't understand.
How many were you?
Let me tell you,
How many were
found
you?
out about this relationship on TikTok.
Oh!
TikTok.
Girl, you lie.
Do you understand the audacity?
Girl, wait.
And then the thing is,
At
Ness,
this big age.
at this big age,
Yo.
I find out on TikTok, knowing, and I know this person, mind you, I've dated him for so long, right?
3 years.
So I know him. Every single time I asked him when I felt something was wrong, oh, the
Your
gaslighting.
spirit was telling
Not
you.
my spirit.
No.
Like, I know there are things this dude will not do. This man will not go to the beach just for the sake of going to the beach. I had
Unless
to
he's
drag
taking
his ass
someone.
out. There were restaurants
Don't
that
tell me there's a TikTok
we did
of
a
him
lot
on
of
the
like
beach.
restaurant hopping and stuff like that. And I'm like, we were planning on coming to this restaurant and you're here.
You're here.
This one time he lies to me. He's like, oh, I was here a few months ago with my friends. I'm like, this nigga lying.
And you can tell.
This nigga, not even I can tell. We just spoke about this restaurant like 2 weeks ago.
And he already has to.
So I find out on TikTok. friend. TikTok.
What
there's
doing on TikTok?
No, the other little bitch was posting herself. And I'm seeing like, I'm like, I know this. Oh, blip, sorry. I'm like, I know this house. I know this car.
Oh.
And then that was the end of it. Like, it was very traumatizing, by the
I
way.
can
It was so
imagine.
traumatizing. I lost so much weight. I was so stressed. I got to a point where I was like, I cannot believe, at this my big age,
Paula, babe.
I am crying over a boy.
Yeah, in this.
They'll do that
It's
to you.
not big age. It's 6-year age.
And then I got to a point I was like, okay, so
You did hear me, right? It's not
I
big
did,
age.
I did,
Okay.
I did. So I have another doctor friend. She goes like, we've been trying to do the whole weight loss thing. And she's like, well, I mean, silver lining, you look sexy. Just like, silver lining, you look good. You look way better than me. I still have to work out to get to your level right now, and you're looking like a snack, you know? So despite all of that, so that was serious character development, because I'm like,
I can't imagine. Bro.
you knew that you're seeing somebody else, and you keep saying that I wanted to talk to you. You've had a whole year of being with this person.
So
And
he
still a
was
whole
dueling
year.
you for a whole year.
Yeah.
It should be
This
illegal
whole
to
time,
fucking
you've got
cheat.
me on a leash. You don't want to let me go. Every time I ask you, you deny, you gaslight, you make me feel like I'm crazy. I am a lot of things, but I'm not crazy. I am not crazy. So that ended. And then the come cook for me now. Yo.
Narcissistic personality match.
And now I'm out of time. I don't know if I should like I have the benefit because I'm the host, but like you to just like over the top. Not come cook for me per se, but come over. And like you said earlier, no is a full sentence. I would have to look for this conversation because this guy keeps texting me constantly. But
To
every
date.
time I say no to this person, his first reaction is, "Are you afraid I'm going to rape you?"
But
Why is that even on your mind?
Oh,
Why are we even getting to that point? Like me saying
the
no, and
therapist
the thing
is
is
doing
this,
his job.
the thing is this,
Because
like I say no, I would say no and actually explain that I'm not comfortable coming to your house.
no, but why
And
is
his
rape
question
the
is,
first thing?
why
he thinks
are you
of?
afraid I'm going to rape you? No, I don't know you like that. I don't want to come to your house. And he's like, okay,
It's on his
how
mind.
about I come to your house? So I think he saw there was a time I posted on my WhatsApp status. I took
Yeah.
like a photo of my little liquor cabinet and he posted, he's like, you have booze. Why don't I come? We hang out at your house. I'm like, I don't want you in my house.
Period. No is a full sentence.
And it's always coming back
Oh, you're the
to,
booze cousin.
Yeah, I am. You know that. Like he always gets back somehow to, are you afraid I'm going to rape you? It's not, yes, fear of rape might be there. I mean, we did grow up
But
in the South.
why does he
but
keep
why
bringing
is-
that
why
up?
is no?
Yeah.
Why is no
Other
not
girls
enough for you? So me getting that invite, come over to my house, or I've posted on my WhatsApp that I'm cooking something. It's like, oh, I want some. Can I come over? No.
No.
Full stop. No. You're not in the budget, first of all.
I feel like come cook for me. I may have experienced come cook for me, but not as much as come over or can I come over?
Come cook for me. I have experienced. Come over is a lot more.
Come over is a lot more.
It's a
My
lot
sister
more.
has always told me if a man is inviting you over to his house as a date, it's not
It's
a date.
not a
It's not a
date.
date. It's
not
It
a
never
date.
is.
It isn't a
That's
date.
one thing you have to learn.
On your
Mostly,
date to someone's house.
no.
So I think we are going to put like a question out, even before you take the mic. We are going to put this particular question out again for the audience, because now we've kind of touched on it for this particular episode. But when we actually need to sit down and have this
have the
discussion,
episode.
I want us to actually post this question out, because I feel like this, because again, this is like those within my circle. Yeah, this is for those within my circle. Most of these comments are from those within my circle, but I'm sure
Out there,
a
there's
lot
probably,
more
yeah.
out there. So the question would be, what is the same question I asked actually, what's the biggest challenge, dating challenge that you faced?
I think we should
moving
say
back?
dating
Please let us
peeves.
know so that
Not
we can
even
have
challenge.
But the
what we
funny
talk
thing is,
about.
I don't even think a lot of those people are peeves. I just feel like the bar, the dating standard
It's so
is so
low.
low, and it's very
Like I said,
unfortunate.
the devil's the
yeah,
limbo.
and it's very
What do you think
unfortunate.
low is it? That low?
I feel like what makes it
we
more
allow
unfortunate if it's not us, it's the society as it is. Because I've sat with like my Tanzanian girlfriends, and their version of, oh my God, I had such a good day.
Oh, it's so low.
They went to KFC.
No, guys.
Do you realize
Kosiani.
we ate KFC in uni? It was right there. Like,
Oh,
we got the
yeah.
worst
Until you get tired of KFC.
And somebody will tell you that, oh my God,
Literally.
we went to Mlimani City, we had KFC, and then we went for a movie.
That's why I'm saying the bar is not
Okay, so the
because of
movies
us.
are fine. but-
No, like a
But
movie date.
a
I'm not
movie
gonna lie.
date
Like if I
is
take
okay.
if I take my kids,
but not
you
for
know,
a first
sons,
date. Yeah.
the kids, and take them, buy them like a little kiddie packet,
Yeah.
Mary Brown or KFC, take them for
Yeah,
movie.
then it's
for them,
fine.
that's happiness.
But not for an
But
adult.
you're coming for a grown woman, and your version
With
of
your own
a
money,
date
by the way.
is
KFC.
that's the thing.
I don't even buy KFC with
When
my
I
own money.
say that Cape Town Fish Market is my bar, when
And
I
that's the
say
lowest
that,
bar.
not
Right.
even that, but like when I say that I want to be wined and dined, I'm talking I came like make the effort, book the table, you know. Tell me what I'm supposed to look like. Like what must
What's
the
the outfit?
the attire.
Like,
The
you
attire.
don't have
Put effort.
No. The thing is, I want to understand where your mind is working at in terms of like how you see me, where we're going. Must I be dolled up? Must I tone down? Who are we meeting? All those things for me are super important for a date.
Yeah.
My dad takes me.
If we're doing hiking, I want to know. I'll be sweating. Put your sunscreen on. You know, like that. For me, that's super important. And it's not like the West has spoiled you. No, it's fewer standards.
Understanding, yeah.
Simple as that.
Oh, and I
Okay, so
forgot something. I
we're
forgot
going-
something
we're going to-
major.
I wanted to say one more thing.
There's like
about
a
that
lack of
before-
communication.
Before,
Yeah, because
before we
we're
continue.
running out of time. We have like
It's
5
very
minutes left.
very quick. Touching on what you were saying about the guy that was like, "Are you afraid I'm gonna rape you?" The trigger for me is the movie For Colored Girls, because that scene for me, like I'm like I will not do it, because listen, if you have
Yeah.
watched For Colored Girls, that film has triggered every woman out there who has ever invited a man to her house and
Yeah.
cooked, because that girl knew what time and how long the rape lasted. And when the person literally
second.
Just don't
like
host
of
the
it.
dates in
like
your
it
fucking
was
house.
we
It was
endured it
ingrained
with her.
into her brain.
Okay, but now the question is like, do we have like in our current society or the society that we found, do we have men who are capable of understanding
Yes.
that?
There
we do.
are.
You do,
There are men.
Yeah.
I mean,
And we're raising
there.
them also. We are raising the bar with our cousins
we
to be
are.
like, yes, guys.
Yes, we are.
and
this
our
is what we're doing.
sons.
Yes.
This is why I was so worried about this particular topic. But
The whole come over thing. I'm like,
yeah,
thank
this
you.
is like a whole dedicated episode. So we've touched on it. We have like a few minutes left, and I think just to round up what we've said, or rather what we've learned, when it comes to finding balance, when it comes to setting boundaries. It's not easy, right?
It's not.
But at the end of the day, the thing that we must take away from this is you're not doing this as a punishment for those people who surround you. You're not doing this to take back the power. You're doing this to create
yourself.
to
To
create an
empower
environment
yourself,
that
yeah.
makes you feel safe
And
and secure and
comfortable.
comfortable. And you said aptly spoken earlier that you cannot pour from an empty cup. And I think for a lot of us, this is where we're coming to. We pour because
I was
we
about
feel
to
like
say, and all our cups are empty.
yeah. At the end of the session, we come into a society that expects us to just keep pouring. So we need to find a way to balance, and more importantly, award ourselves that grace, that kindness, to just
We always forget to award ourselves.
just be kind to yourself and know that I'm not particularly going to be liked by so and so
Everyone.
people,
Yeah.
but those that matter, they will understand.
And they will love me
respect.
regardless.
Yeah. I remember there was a time when I came, sorry, this might be a bit very short, but like when I came, there's a sister of mine, she was like, you should always be coming home, right? But then we got to a point where we would not see each other for months. And when I go home, like, I understand how a lot of people who came before me in Tanzania will be like, you can be in Dar and not see the person for months and months on end. And now that I'm living that life, I see the strain, I feel the strain, I feel the frustrations, I live it every day. So it's not that I'm trying to cut you off, it's that I'm trying to find a moment to just recharge.
I'm trying to find my own footing.
Yeah, to find my own footing. So like understanding that balance that I'm not gonna please everybody. I'm not gonna be everybody's cup of tea. That's okay. You know, and there's that reel that says I'm not, you know, the cup, the whatever, the something that you need, but I'm the cup, the whiskey that you want, or something like that. Yeah, but like something along those lines. You're not going to please everybody. You're not going to. There's nothing that you can do, no matter how hard you try, that is going to make everybody be like, "Ooh, Sifa is a good person."
You can't.
You can't. There's
You
so
could
many.
never.
There's like a million versions of you
Sifa.
out there. So you gotta find what is good for you. And you are still starting your life
You'll
in
find
Tanzania.
it.
This is why we're just gonna let you
so much.
figure this out. But that's very
see the
important.
judgment in
Yeah,
your eyes.
that's very, very.
It's caution.
It's caution. Yeah, it's caution
It's love.
and worry.
Concern.
Concern. Yes, not worry.
Concern.
Yeah. So like, just give yourself that grace, because I promise you, it is going to get to a point where the frustration is like, it's drowning you. How do you give yourself grace and look at yourself in the mirror and be like,
What is
to hell with all these people?
I always remind people.
Also,
You know?
when all else fails, there's always me. I'm still a
Yeah.
therapist.
$100.
Yeah.
And now,
I was trying to say this. You know how whenever you board a flight and then they do the safety checks, whatever, and they tell you, remember, put on your mask first
before
and
you
then
put on
assist.
other people.
And I feel like a lot of folks do not understand the importance of it, because even with parents, they tell you, put on your mask first and then
then
the child.
help your children, yeah.
Because you cannot do anything when you're helpless. Like, you cannot.
Yeah.
When you have no
That's
oxygen
a
in your
very
body.
good analogy.
No, for real. And that's why I'm like, I'm no longer pouring in places I used to pour in because they're not pouring back into me.
Yeah.
Like, they're no longer the source of like, oh, okay, they can help me out. And it's not like, oh my goodness, no, they're out. It's more like we're in different paths in life. We're in different trajectories. I'm in a different direction, and that's okay.
It's okay. Like a lot of people don't realize that it's okay for us to be in different paths, in different trajectories, in different ways of thinking. It's okay. We can coexist. Just let me exist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. So like I was saying, we've yapped a lot.
have.
We have yapped a lot, but I hope that
I like that word.
it's in as much as everything we've said, we've been laughing a lot, we've done all that. There are going to be episodes where I'm pretty sure somebody's going to cry.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to cry and shed a couple of tears. But I do hope that even as you're listening, that you do take something from this. You understand, and this is now to my diaspora, all the diaspora communities out there. We're not just having this conversation because we want to vent and share similar trauma, but it was necessary. But we want, even as you're considering to come back home, you have a blueprint. Like, what are others facing
What you
when they go
expect,
out there? What should you expect? Do you have a safe space to have these conversations? And
if you don't,
I do encourage you guys to continue listening, to subscribe, but also we do have a column in the Citizen paper for the diaspora and on our website as well. We do profile people in the diaspora walking different types of walks. So this is essentially just a kind of an extension, because it's one thing to talk about business, to talk about corporate and career and everything, but there's more to life than that.
True.
So we may push, the Citizen, the print side of the diaspora community, but we also want you guys to understand that there's a lot more to navigate in terms of like the social, the family, the families that you haven't seen forever. You're retiring back to Tanzania. What should you expect? All these questions. So thank you guys for being here, Sifa and Eva. Thank you for being with us today. And
Thank you for triggering us.
I know we will have more conversations.
We have been traumatized.
We will have, we will have more.
wine.
And my Bible is open to you guys.
Yeah, so thank you guys for joining us. We really do appreciate that
It
you've
was a
taken the
pleasure.
time.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah, and as I was saying earlier, Oh wait, did I say this? No, you say that guys reach out to Sifa if you need therapy because woof,
Oh, yeah.
it's a lot.
Karibuni.
And remember, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Yes. So
Yeah.
thank you for listening. Share with us your thoughts. We will definitely have to keep this conversation going. Subscribe, like, and talk to us on social media.
Enjoy
And
our
until
idols.
our next episode, I am Lucinda, and this is
Joanne.
with our gorgeous hosts, Dr. Sifa and
Eva.
and we are out.
Bye.
Thank
Thank you for listening to us.
I'm still single, by the way,
I'm not.
Why you got a ring on?
because I'm
This is the
holding
part
up
you
the
say
ring.
cut.